Well, listen, I'm aspiring to sublime feminine. I'm aspiring to so whatever.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
What's happening?
What's happening with you?
I don't know. I'm here.
You're here.
We're going to do this podcast in two parts, guys, because Caissie's traveling tomorrow.
Yes.
And it seemed a bit like a tight squeeze.
Little bit of a squeeze for me.
A squeeze. We don't need anyone being squeezed. No one needs to feel squeezed in this moment in time.
We don't need any squeeze. I mean, a good squeeze, yes, but
sure, a squeeze is a squeeze if it's a good squeeze.
Yeah.
If it's a bad squeeze, if you're feeling a squeeze that's not a good squeeze, get out.
Get out of it.
Get out of there. I got to tell you something. These fucking emails for Cyber Monday, guys, cool it. Give it a rest. We get it.
It's a lot.
Honestly, if I wanted something from your company, I would go to the site and be like, oh, I wonder if there's a deal today.
Yes. I would assume that most companies worth their salt are having some type of Cyber Monday sale.
But now it's like it's not even because of pandemic. Sorry, I have this turkey sandwich. I know.
No, it's okay. I just asked.
But listen,
I'm
going to take
a sandwich myself.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it feels like a sandwich vibe. Well, actually, I've been having bad luck today with liquid food, so I had to go solid.
What kind of bad luck?
Because I went to get my hair color touched up, my roots.
Yeah.
And I hadn't eaten yet. And I was like, okay, I'll just get a smoothie en route. And it was literally disgusting, like dirt. It was like dirt. It tasted like dirt.
What kind of smoothie was it? A dirt smoothie?
Yeah. Obviously, I don't know. It's just it's a place that's here. I think there's a couple of them, and I'm not going to call anyone out. It was just trash. So then, and she was like, the girl doing my hair, it's on the same block as the place where the hair place was, and she's like, oh yeah, it's weird. Their smoothies are really bad. I'm like, yeah, and it was like $14 or something. It was terrible. So. Waste of money, and couldn't eat it, couldn't drink it, couldn't get that. So then after I left, I was like, soup sounds good. Also, I want to talk to you about this. My throat, one side of my throat has been hurting for like too long.
Oh, since when?
2 months.
2 months? Girl, go to the doctor.
I'm going.
Okay.
I shouldn't have even mentioned it because now Barbara Phillips is going to call me.
Yeah, of course.
I have an appointment.
Okay.
I called the doctor.
Yeah, just get that checked.
I know, it's weird. It freaked me out. It's freaking me out now. Now it's freaking me out.
Well,
it wasn't freaking me out, and now it's freaking me out.
Have you been on antibiotics since you've had that? Mm-hmm. Okay, and it didn't go away? No,
and I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's the possibility, and you guys out there know this, obviously, because we're all living the same fucking life at this point. Lives. Everyone's been sick nonstop.
Right.
And so many people have been like, oh yeah, I got sick. It's not COVID. And I've been sick for 7 weeks.
Right. Because there's that RSV going around. Flu is terrible.
I was traveling last week and I don't know. So, I mean, it's hard to say that this has been consistent for 2 months, but it's definitely been a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, whatever. I'm going to go.
Plus you have your sinus issues, which could be affecting your throat, but it's just good to get it checked out.
Post-nasal drip. Right,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I did get that thing that you recommended.
Oh, the nasal spray?
Yeah, the product.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get the exact one you recommended. I got the one that I saw.
Oh, okay.
That had the same active ingredient or whatever.
Okay.
Which, by the way, guys, is it's an herbal, not proven, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, it's the active ingredient is xylitol, which is a sweet, a low calorie sweetener. But the reason that I was curious about the nasal spray is because in the past when I had an earache, my doctor recommended getting some xylitol to put in my tea and chew xylitol gum because it is helpful sometimes, I guess, when you're sick, I guess.
And cavities. And cavities.
Yes. So anyway.
Is xylitol here to save us all?
I mean, I think it's possible it gives you diarrhea if you eat it in huge
bring
amounts.
It on.
Yeah. Which I'm like, listen, sometimes I honestly, if it's not that bad, like diarrhea is a side effect I can handle. Let's say that.
Well, you know me.
Yeah. That's your life story. You know, it's
Hashtag.
Diarrhea is like, if it's not too bad, it's just like a little me time. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. I mean, I don't feel that way, but like I am definitely like, just like whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. You know. But did it do anything for you?
Well, what I was going to say is my sinuses have really been hurting.
Yeah.
Like for also similarly for a long time.
Yeah.
And great. It's been great.
Oh, good.
It went like the pain went away.
Oh, good.
I need to remember to do it again today.
Yeah.
I want to keep it up.
Yeah, I'm glad it helped a little. At the very least, I believe this, and scientists correct me, xylitol is like it pulls moisture into like it's a humectant, so it pulls moisture. So even if like your sinuses were like a little dry from being irritated or whatever, I think at the very least it would like moisturize your sinuses a little bit and make them feel better.
Wild.
We've had bad liquid luck today too. Matt had a bowl of cereal this morning with some oat milk in it, and then after there was like just a very little amount of oat milk left, and so he was like, it's not enough to do anything with, so he just dumped it out, and then there was like a full layer of mold in the bottom of the container that he didn't see. And so he was like, medical question, what happens if you drank moldy oat milk? And I was like, I mean, obviously, like I know mold can make you really, really ill. If you ingest enough mold or the right type of mold, it can really seriously fuck your shit up. So anyway, he took a swig of tequila and then ate some pickles to see if that would, because all the internet.
Sir, this is not like medieval times. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is he doing?
Well, all the internet.
That's insane.
All the internet said was that, listen, I've heard from other people, they're like, when I've suspected that I just ate something that's going to give me food poisoning, I drink like a high proof alcohol thing. So I think that was the wisdom there. And then I read online that oftentimes your stomach acid will kill mold in your stomach if you're lucky. And so that was the thought behind eating some pickles. But all the internet says is like, keep an eye on yourself. Like my husband said, do you know that episode of The Simpsons where Homer eats blowfish and then he like has to wait for 24 hours to see if he dies?
No, but I mean, yeah, now I do.
Now you do. But anyway, he was like, I feel like Homer Simpson in the blowfish episode of The Simpsons. But so far, so good. He's fine so far. I think we all probably eat and consume a great deal of molds that we're unaware of. It's just being aware of it is what weighs heavily on your heart.
Well, I also would say that I think that we all like are getting food poisoned a lot.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yes.
I do.
Yes.
I believe that to be true.
Definitely eating.
We're eating
bugs.
Disgusting shit, guys.
Some turds.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We are. Speaking of which, oh my God, the cat fully pooped on Mark's bed today.
Oh.
As he was cleaning the litter box. He was just cleaning it.
Whoa.
I guess he really had to go.
Whoa.
What are you going to do?
Such an insult.
I mean, yes, but also like I said to Mark, I was like, I mean, he had to go. When you got to go, you got to go. There was no other litter box, you know?
That's how I feel every time I try to go in the Target bathroom and they're cleaning it, which is every time.
They're always cleaning it.
They're always cleaning it. And I'm like, come on.
100%.
Come on. But I don't I don't poop in the bedding section.
Obviously not.
But I'm just, I'm sure that's how your cat felt. Like he was like, of course, the time when I have to use the bathroom, it's being cleaned.
Sorry, I'm chewing, guys. Hold on one
That's
second.
okay. What is that noise? Is someone vacuuming upstairs or something? I heard
don't hear
this
anything.
weird noise, and it sounded like a movie sound effect for when something scary is about to happen.
Cool. That's cool.
I'm sure they can't hear it on the recording, but it sounded like wah. You know how wah in a movie, that means something ominous is about to happen.
Yes, I do. That was like, again, guys, I'm years behind on The Crown, but Birdie and I were watching 2 episodes of The Crown last night, and we watched the one where Lord Mountbatten was assassinated. Spoiler alert.
Don't ruin the end for me.
I mean, it's history, guys. But by the way, I obviously didn't know that he was assassinated because it was really well directed.
Yeah.
I liked, and it was like, did you watch it? You watched it.
Yeah, but I watched it so long ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's when he's like it's on the boat, the IRA.
Yeah. Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that from like 5 years ago
Yes.
when you were watching the show when it first came out?
Yes, I do remember that.
But the way that they were like cutting it, and there was this music playing, and I was like, something terrible is about to happen, Birdie. Oh no, I can't take it. Something terrible is going to happen. Wait, who are those guys? Those guys in that car. They're going to do something. Something terrible is about to happen. Birdie's like, stop, Mom, stop. And I was like, didn't they talk about the IRA at the beginning of the episode? Something's going to happen. Something really bad is about to happen. And they were just like, they kept cutting from like people killing things. It was like Charles killing a fish, and Anne and the Queen killing, I don't know what they were killing. Birds, maybe? I don't know. Anne didn't kill anything. She missed.
Of course.
And then Prince Philip killing all the pheasants with whoever he was with.
Right.
And then Lord Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten was about to kill. They were lobstering, and they were going to kill the lobster, but he was like, "No, we have to throw it back. It's a female. She'll live to see another day." And I was like, "Oh no!" And then he died.
They've really set it up for you. You know what? I'm not
really. I loved it.
I'm
loved
not
it.
glad for Lord Mountbatten that he was
I cried. I cried.
I'm glad for you that like the bad thing that you were getting ready for actually happened entertainment wise, because I hate when sometimes a director will like trick you by like making it seem like something bad's going to happen and then nothing bad happens. And I feel like it's not right. I feel like that's like breaking an entertainment law.
Yeah, but then something bad eventually always does happen on those things because they're just like trying to trick you. I don't like being tricked.
We don't like being tricked. I'm saying,
no, I'm not a fan of being tricked.
I appreciate the warning and like when there's a payoff,
and the suspense and the payoff.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And when there's no payoff, then I just have to like grit my teeth the whole rest of the time. And
don't know how many of you guys are listening to The Crown. I mean, this really could become a podcast about The Crown if we're not careful. But like, and again, I'm still a ways back. What season am I on now? 4? I think I just started 4.
Okay. Yeah.
How many seasons are they at now?
I don't know.
Are you watching the current one?
I have, because I want to just watch it all at one time, and I just haven't had a chance.
You know what I've realized about myself?
What?
I don't like doing that.
Oh,
which is why I'm so behind on all of my viewing.
Right.
Because I'm not a person that likes to sit and watch 18 episodes or 12 or 6 or 7 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like the most my little pea brain can handle is 2.
Yeah, I can understand that. But I really like to, I very rarely will watch an entire season of something in one sitting. That's a little too much for me. But I do like to have 2 or 3 episodes per night, like sequentially through. So I like to like bang it all out and like,
hey, I'm not that far behind.
You're almost caught up?
Well, sort of. I'm on the first. I think we just did last night. We did the first episode of season 4.
Okay.
So not bad, guys. She's catching
She's
up.
doing it.
Wait, was that right? Maybe. There's yes. The IRA attack brings tragedy.
There you go.
I cried. I cried so hard.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like they are very, and I was like, I'm curious. But first of all, here's what I want to say. If you guys are not, again, Crown watchers, I apologize, but just bear with me. It's so fucking Shakespearean.
Yes.
Like because most of this, I know it's like historical fiction.
Yeah.
But a lot of this is like, there's no denying certain things happened, right?
Right,
And
right.
like they have done an extensive amount of research, and there are all kinds of like biographers and accounts of people who were worked for the royals or were around or whatever.
Right.
So that they've like been able to piece together enough in order to dramatize it.
Right.
And give us a what if. It is like, first of all, aside from the fact that like, fuck the monarchy, right? Like, like it should all be destroyed. Like, there's no reason that this institution still exists,
Right.
I think anyone can agree on that, right?
Yes, of course.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. No. I think
I'm not wrong.
Everybody.
But outside of that, so like, let's just hold that in like like when you're about to talk shit about somebody, but you're like, but he's a really good guy, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
So we just like, let's put that to the side as like a given, right? Like
Yes.
we all agree that this is like a thing that should not exist anymore.
Right.
That being said, it is like truly full of so much fucking tragedy for them.
For sure.
And it's so fraught.
Yes.
And there's so much like meddling and like deciding what is the best in order to hold on to the crown and to make sure that the monarchy.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it different now that it's Charles? Is it a ponarchy? It's not, guys. It's not a ponarchy.
They're all
monarchies.
Yes,
I
yes.
got it, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm coming to.
Listen, it's
coming to life. None of my food worked today.
Oh no.
I didn't even get to the second liquid failure, which was the soup that I got.
Yeah.
That was
what
just
happened
like
to the soup?
It was disgusting. It was so gross. I couldn't eat it.
What kind of soup was it?
I don't want to even get into it. It was just a disaster. It was so gross.
It was garbage soup.
It was garbage soup.
And it tasted
Thank
like
God
garbage.
I passed this place where I was like, oh, they have turkey sandwiches. I know. I can just get one fast.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're just having bad liquid luck today.
But this is what my point was. I have always been, my entire life, as I think most of us have been, like firmly Team Diana.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Obviously. We're
Yes.
all Team Diana.
Yes.
They do a really good job of making Charles sympathetic as hell. I think. I haven't gotten to the part where I know there's like, because I've seen scenes where he like is really mean and is like, I don't love you. Right?
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to that yet. But as a young man, like as a kid and a young man, I think they do a really good job. And like how he was so in love with Camilla.
Right.
And the family would just like
weren't having
they just like got in the middle of it.
Right.
Guys, because she was a good time girl.
Well, it just goes to show you. We all start out good, right? Probably. And then
I don't know.
Meddling fucks us all up. You think
meddling? For sure.
Events conspire to fuck most people up who are fucked up. I think that, it's interesting to think of like these people that we think of as like so privileged and like the monarchy, like you're literally kings
born
and queens
into royalty.
Born into royalty. And but also in a lot of ways it seems like a very shitty prison, which a lot of people apparently dutifully go along with and then turn into like massive assholes. And it would be hard to stay good, I think. It would be hard to stay good, that's been one thing that's really interesting is seeing like, well, Diana's story and Sarah Ferguson's story. And now we're seeing Meghan Markle talk about, how
Fergie's not in the show yet, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think
she's not there yet. Is she ever in the show?
I don't think she's ever really in it.
What?
Which
Did they decide not to because Andrew is a pedophile who like raped children on Jeffrey Epstein's island, and
it's possible. I don't
weirdly is still able to wear his like dress blues, even though Prince Harry wasn't. Come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, it's this is what I'm saying. It's so fucked up, and the priorities are so fucked up. And I just seeing the stories of these women and hearing the stories of these women and just how they were like painted publicly as, being like whatever, good time girls. You know what I mean? Like even I don't want to say poor Camilla because I think it's complicated and I'm team Diana. I'm team
guys,
Camilla.
Wait, you're what?
I said
you're team Camilla.
I'm not team Camilla. I'm team Diana. But like,
I'm not team. I'm just like anti-team royal.
Exactly.
Like I'm not team either of them. But if I were to identify with one of the two of them, I'm definitely a Camilla. Definitely not a Diana. Let's be real. You know what I mean?
It's like picking your Hogwarts house.
I am for sure. I'm like Princess Margaret. Probably. I'm probably most Princess Margaret, I would say.
Okay.
I don't even know how to smile. Whatever.
Princess Margaret. I think everybody likes her and wants to be friends with her, which is a real testament to the show.
See?
Because, yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah, she seems super cool.
Even though she's miserable.
Yeah. I guess I would be a Fergie, probably.
You're a Fergie?
Yeah, Andrew aside, I just think like, no one ever thought that she belonged there. I think people underestimated her. People talked about her weight constantly. She was not even ever fat.
No wonder we were all so fucked up. Like between like the way the media portrayed or the way that the media talked about royal, like our generation, I mean, women of our generation, royals, pop stars, and then like public political figures here, i.e. Monica Lewinsky, Hillary Clinton, like female, or even just like tragic figures like Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Long Island Lolita, right?
Yeah. That teenager.
Oh, wait. The teenager, Amy Fisher.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, she's a literal fucking teenager.
She was like a child. She's like a year older than Birdie is now. Like fucking nuts. And some like old man was like taking advantage of her, and then she lost her shit and then was on the cover of People magazine as like Long Island Lolita.
It's
fucked up.
It's insane.
So fucked up.
Everything.
So fucked up, guys.
Such a fucked up time. But anyway, yeah, The Crown really does humanize young Charles. I do remember that that character was quite likable.
Well, maybe it's the actor though too.
Yeah, that's hard to. I know people. Well, you're not watching the newest season. Obviously, I'm not either because I want to watch it all in one go. But people are like, Dominic West is way too hot to play Prince Charles.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah, he's the good-looking guy. But
also, I don't know who the woman is that's playing Diana this season.
Yeah.
People don't love her portrayal of Diana as much as like Emma Corrin's.
Right.
Guys, I don't know why we don't need to be doing a podcast about The Crown. I'm sorry. There's nothing quite like the smell of fresh bread. Guys, when I tell you that I am proselytizing Wild Green to people I meet on the street, I am getting people. Listen, not a joke. Back in LA, I got 3 people. To order it while I was sitting there. I love it so much because we love fresh baked bread coming out of the oven, especially when it's cold.
Yes.
Or during the holidays, or honestly, when it's warm out. Or when it's not anything special. Like,
it makes everything special is like what I'm noticing. Like, you just make a salad and like soup for dinner, that's sad. But when you put
a wild grain loaf of bread takes 20 minutes, and then the whole house is smelling good, and you take it out and you slice that baby and the steam comes out and you do a little butter, and then you know what you can do to pretend you're really fancy?
What?
Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Take a tiny little dish and put salt in it, and then put it next to the butter dish on the table, and your family is going to be like, am I at a 5-star restaurant? Where am I? I'm telling you, the butter and the little salt in a dish trick is a thing, and it's going to up it all.
Gets them every time. And it's not just bread, it's croissants, it's pasta.
Well, Cricket's obsessed with the pasta, and a couple times I've been like, oh God, I need to find a meal for my child. And then I remember I have that delicious wild grain, fresh, frozen pasta in my freezer, and I pull that baby out, and Cricket is as happy as a little clam. And they use clean ingredients, unbleached and non-GMO flour. They utilize a slow sourdough fermentation process that's healthier for you and tastes literally better than anything I've ever had.
Special items for the holiday season: pumpkin cinnamon rolls, orange cranberry biscuits, chocolate avalanche croissants. Come on.
All you do is you sign up at wildgrain.com/busy, and you choose what type of box you want to receive and how often. It's very easy to reschedule or to skip or even cancel. Are you guys hungry? Do you want to get in on this, the Wild Grain train? For a limited time, you can get $30 off your first box plus free croissants in every box, guys, when you go to wildgrain.com/busy to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants, every box, and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/busy. That's wildgrain.com/busy, or you can use the promo code BUSY at checkout. You know, they say that hair care is the new skincare. Did you know that?
I mean, it makes sense.
Well, one brand has taken it to the next level. We love them. I've loved them for a very long time. They have a cult-like following.
And you're part of the cult. Yeah.
I am. Kitsch has created game-changing essentials that beauty enthusiasts and just like moms and people like me swear by. The satin pillowcases, so good for your skin, so good for your hair. If you have a kid that has, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a thing or two. If you have a child, as I do too, children that have tangly hair, hair prone to middle of the night tangles. I don't know what happens. They look perfect when they go to sleep. They wake up and it looks like a little rat has been burrowing in their head for the entire night. We switched to the Kitsch satin pillowcases for both the kids.
Night and day.
Definitely night and day. Like, it has improved the morning routine in my life by a great, great deal. Like, amazing. It's amazing. Also, the towels, the hair dry towels that's all I use for. Yeah, it's all I use for hair towels.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite thing in the world. It is my favorite thing in the world.
Because I'm trying to like cut down on, I bleach my hair. It's already like I'm damaging it on purpose. So I want to reduce the amount of heat that I use on my hair. So if I can get most of the water out of it with a towel, that is a huge win for me.
Well, listen, guys, also the eye masks. Ugh. And satin is vegan and cruelty-free, unlike silk, which is made from silkworms. So it's so good for your hair and your skin. They have shampoo and conditioner bars, which are bottle-free beauty. You know we're all about it. And really easy to travel with, which I love. So listen up. Kitsch is your one-stop shop for all holiday gifting for your family, for your besties, and all the resties who deserve a little something special this year. And right now, Kitsch is offering discounts site-wide, anywhere from 25% all the way to 60% off all month in November when you go to mykitsch.com/best. You heard it. Discounts of up to 60% off certain items at MyKitsch, spelled mykitsch.com/best. Plus, Kitsch has daily flash sales, unbelievable deals. So check back often because the flash sales are you don't want to miss.
Don't miss
One
it.
more time, go to mykitsch.com/best for huge holiday discounts. Everything you need for holiday gifting or to just treat yourself. Go ahead. Let's get back to things we can all talk about, like my literal fucking goose chase for the foam stuff because you sent me the craft for Christmas. Caissie sent me this TikTok. And by the way, I can't even find the original one with the bottle brush trees, which is the one I want to do.
Right. You have to make your own. You have to invent your own.
Invent my own toxic foam?
No, invent your own craft. Like if you can't find the original.
I could do that.
Yeah. Is the foam toxic?
I'm sure it is. Of course. All that shit's toxic. It's like toxic and
we're talking
never
about
is gonna
it's
disintegrate. And it's gonna be like in 4,000 years, like future AI beings will find my Christmas wreath that I made for Christmas.
Maybe they'll use it for a flotation device. You don't know.
We don't know.
When the ocean levels rise. So
listen,
what we're talking about
is those suitcases in Joe versus the volcano.
We're talking
you never know
about
when that plot point's going to come back.
Spray insulation foam, which seems to be all the rage for Christmas crafts this year. And Busy saw a craft that she wanted to do that involved bottle brush trees, spray foam, and like a grapevine wreath. Is that correct?
What's a grapevine wreath?
It's like the one that's like twigs around.
No.
Oh, okay.
You're conflating.
I'm conflating two crafts. Okay. They both involved bottle brush trees. So that.
Well, by the way, I should have pivoted and gone back to my initial. No, I found the one with the twigs.
Yeah.
And the bottle brush trees. You saw that and one-upped me with the guy who was doing the spray foam and the bottle brush trees.
With
and
the
then
lights
I was like,
in the spray foam.
Lights in the spray foam. And then I was like, oh, well, that's the one I want to do.
Yeah.
And so then I was on a hunt yesterday in the pouring, sleeting rain. It wasn't sleeting, but it was pouring rain to find this craft foam. And I went to...
Well, it's not craft foam. That's the thing.
Well, I went to they have it. They're supposed to have it at Michael's.
Right.
That guy was literally doing an ad for Michael's.
Right.
That minfluencer.
Is that what we call man craft influencers? Minfluencers?
No, it's like a small influencer who has like less than 50,000 followers.
Okay, all right.
As a minfluencer.
I love it.
And sometimes brands like minfluencer is better. Guys, this is an influencer break. Sometimes brands like to work with minfluencers better because they're cheaper and they can hire more minfluencers.
Right. And
then hypothetically speaking, reach more people who like believe in the thing that the minfluencer is. By the way, speaking of which, because you guys, we sell a lot of shit here, me and Case. And we love it. But the shit we sell, we love. I don't know if you've been following on Instagram. First of all, there's so many things to talk about. This whole fucking Balenciaga thing is fucking nuts. Did you see any of this?
No, you have to fill me in on it.
It's literally horrifying. It makes me want to throw up.
Oh, God.
Yes, it's disgusting.
Okay. All right.
But basically, okay, guys, long story short, and then I saw all these people that are like celebrities. Oh, because Bethany Frankel was like, everyone's been in my DMs being like, why will you speak out about Balenciaga and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, guys, let me just tell you from my perspective, like I like saw the post about what the ads were and like what happened.
Okay.
The disgusting, fucking insane. I don't even understand. Ugh. I'm gonna explain it to you guys. Trigger warning: child abuse. Okay. Child sexual abuse.
Ugh,
Trigger warning. But I was like, I have nothing to comment. Do you think this bitch has ever, like, I've never even set foot in a Balenciaga. Like, I don't know Balenciaga. I don't know her. She doesn't know me. We've never known each other. We will never know each other. And seen with that's my statement about, I'm as disgusted. But anyway, they did this, like, their holiday ad campaign, which has since been, like, scrubbed from the internet, is so fucking weird and horrible.
Oh, God.
Basically, they had like very small children holding these purses that they made that were like these fucked up teddy bears in S&M bondage.
Oh, weird.
Okay. So that in and of itself, like if you saw that picture, you'd be like, you're like, ew, that's like not
why?
appropriate.
Yeah.
And like, ugh. But that's not why it is literally fucking insane, because the part of the whole if you look at the whole campaign together, which includes like adults, there's a one shot where in the background it's an adult, and you guys, I'm just doing this from memory, I'm not like reading a thing, and in the background there's some book that like you can definitely see what the book is.
Yeah.
And it was an artist who was like known for doing like disgusting, like borderline child porn things.
Yeah.
Like, see, I'm trying to remember. I literally like read the Diet Prada article and then was like, this is so vile. I like don't ever want to see or look at any of this shit.
Gross.
So it was like almost like, you know how I'm always, okay. You know, I'm always like, why do these people, the like Trumpers, why are they convinced that like Hollywood people are in some like baby drinking blood cabal,
right?
Like pedophilia ring,
right?
You know, like how that's like the basis of so much.
Well,
of their
they're like calling everyone
QAnon
groomers constantly.
Mm-hmm. Groomers. Like we're all groomers. I get called one.
Right.
You know that?
Yes, of course. Yes, I've been called that as well.
Sure.
I mean,
I'm like getting so upset about this as I'm talking about it. And then like the irony always is, right? Like, oh, guess who was on Jeffrey Epstein's island? Trump, like 7 times or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, guys, it's not the calls coming from inside the house.
Right.
But this like this Balenciaga campaign is literally like, I don't know what transpired. I do know from having participated in not certainly like a huge fashion house campaign, but like big ad campaigns.
Right.
That like every placement of everything that's going to be shot is like discussed, debated, and planned.
Right.
It's not like, you know what I mean? So there was like, so in one of the things, there was like this book about this, there was a book by this artist that, like, to say that it's, I mean, they are creepy ads of the kids in bondage. I just Googled it so I could get better information.
Right.
Isn't like, is not the whole story. Because that, while that is creepy and it's like really, like, I'm not into it at, like, I think it's fucking gross. Like, that would have been enough for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But then the other ads that were like, there was like a court, you can like, there's like a court document like about like this child pornography case on the desk, like showing the purse. Okay. And then there was another picture. I mean, like, it's all gross. Like, there was another picture with a little kid And then like it's like in the foreground, it's like all these like wine bottles and empty wine glasses and shit. And it just kind of looks like,
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know.
It doesn't look okay.
It does not look okay.
Right.
And it was like so fucking disturbing.
Ugh.
And upsetting. Like all of it was really upsetting to me. And there's like duct tape. And then there's, like in this one, there's like this kid standing in this room that's like all fucking weird and gross and like scribbled up. I don't get it. I mean, I don't, I just am, I'm really grossed out. Like,
Yeah.
It's just really upsetting. And like, people are like, so Balenciaga came under fire. They like got rid of the stuff.
They issued some type of apology, I think.
I guess. It's really gross. I don't know. I don't understand anything.
Like, here's the thing. Are they trying to court controversy? Are they literally like disgusting pedophile? Like, I don't understand.
Here's another picture from their October collection featuring the disgusting teddy bear bag and a beaten up girl. Like, this is literally like their campaign.
I think like if these people were legitimately pedophiles, like if that was their I don't even know what to say. If they were pedophiles, I think that you would go to great lengths to conceal that and to be secretive about it, knowing how the world feels about that. And I think that that's one thing that any person can agree on. Everyone who's not a pedophile agrees that pedophilia is about the worst thing, right? So I have to assume that they were trying to court controversy in some way, which is so fucked up because that is not controversy that's like interesting to court. You know what I mean? Like, in what way did anyone see that going well? In what way did anyone think like, oh, this will really get people's attention? Like, sometimes bad attention is bad attention, you know? And this is what we worry about, right? When we're like kids working in this industry, like now those kids are in those pictures for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? Even if the campaign is scrubbed. Those pictures exist.
I mean, and apparently the kids, like, all of their parents work for Balenciaga.
What the fuck?
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just was like, it was literally so upsetting to me over the weekend when I saw it on, I follow Diet Prada on Insta.
Yeah, sure.
And then like the Kardashians, who, I mean, Kim has like been a long time Balenciaga and Kanye too, right? And then like, I don't fucking know. And then Kim released the statement yesterday that was like, I mean, seems like fucking, I mean, to me, it seems like bullshit, but like, I also am not getting paid whatever she's been paid or getting paid by Balenciaga. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I'm saying like, I'm a different person.
Right.
My statement would be different.
Right.
Money would be immediately given back. Like I would terminate because I actually don't care. Like there's no excuse.
There's no amount of money.
Like there's no amount of money and there's no excuse.
Right.
Like these things are like anyone who's done any ad for fucking a small brand. Do you know what I mean? Like it's their entire jobs to like come up with the concepts and make it make sense in the ethos of the brand and the fucking blah da dee da da. And like, you cannot tell me that this was like a mistake or an error in, this was an error in judgment, That's like, no. The entire thing is wrong.
Yeah,
like, it's
you
all
have
wrong.
like you have no judgment whatsoever.
You have no judgment,
and
you
shouldn't
don't
be working
you
with
shouldn't-
humans.
No,
and
that
making
you're done.
things for humans. Yeah,
You're done. Like I don't know. And she's like, I had to like go look at the comments on her thing because I was just like,
do other people feel the same way?
They do, for
yeah.
sure. And like, because it's also like, here's what I'm gonna say. Like, I just like, I know it's so weird, but like, I always do get to like, to what end?
Right.
Like, Kim Kardashian, you have more money than anyone ever at this point.
Right. Yeah. I can't speak to like Kim's statement or anything, but I don't know. I think people kid themselves about like when you just live in this rarefied air, like you kid yourself that you need these associations. I mean, literally, while we keep bringing up Jeffrey Epstein, look at the circles that he traveled in. Look at the people that were like, I know what they say about this guy, but like, I need to be on this plane with him. I need to be on this island with him.
I mean, and look, I don't know if I have talked about this, but like on this podcast ever, like that I worked with Harvey Weinstein and I like knew him.
Right.
Right. And did not have any of the horrific experiences that so many women had.
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk about other women like, oh, that's my girlfriend. Oh, that's my new girlfriend. And I always thought, like, I don't know if I was just so naive that I thought that it was consensual. I really did, like, obviously I did.
Right.
Like, I didn't think that he was I didn't think he was a monster.
Right.
Right. And I thought, like, he's a fucking gross. By the way, I've been in this industry, since the 90s.
Right.
A lot of gross people have said a lot of gross things to me and I haven't been sexually assaulted in this, at work.
Right.
But like I talk about it in my book. Like I had like a crew member once tell me that he jacked off to me.
Right.
Like I've had like a walking on set, like before sexual harassment seminars were a thing that like they made you sit through.
Right.
Like people commenting on your body or going to test for a TV show and being told by the casting person through your reps, like, oh, she didn't look like fuckable enough at the first audition. So if she could like wear something low cut, push up her tits and wear more makeup, like that would be. And we were just like, yes, okay.
That's what you
so
gotta
like,
do.
That's what you got to do.
I mean, I was sent on an errand to Bill Cosby's house one time, and I was so excited to be going to Bill Cosby's house. And before I got out of the building, 3 separate people took me aside and were like, "Be careful." And
when they said "be careful," what did you think?
I just was like, what do you mean? And somebody said, people say that he's weird. And I was like, what does weird mean? But
How old were you?
I was like 21 years old. And
light team working overtime. That
yeah.
Day,
and I mean, I don't listen. Do I think if the person who sent me on the errand knew anything like that they would have sent they wouldn't have been even associating with him, in any way, so it's just, it's terrible to say it was a different time, but it really was such a different time. We just were not talking about those things explicitly. And so a lot of times you're getting like a partial picture of what was.
Yeah, but also what I was saying before, all of that stuff comes into play with it because it's like, because the victims so frequently were made out to be whatever.
Liars.
Labeled. Yes.
Crazy. A slut.
Yes. Oh, crazy. A climber. An insane person. Oh, she lost all, she was always she was just trying to blah, blah, whatever.
She was trying to get ahead and then it didn't go her way. And so now she's saying this. And this is the thing that it seems so logical now whenever anyone says, tell me a woman who's ever got ahead by telling the truth about something that happened to her. No one has. No one ever has.
No.
So, it makes so much sense now, but back then, that was the
that brings us to the word of the year. According to Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster has declared that the word of 2022 is gaslighting.
Wow. Merriam. I mean, do you think it's the word of the year? Do you think it is?
I don't fucking know. I mean, honey, I've been gaslit my whole life.
We were just going through Christmas ornaments because we didn't have enough room on the tree to put all the ornaments that we've collected over the years. And Matt was
time to get a second tree.
Time to get a second tree, like our friend Kulop. Matt was holding up ornaments and asking which ones had any sentimental value to me or not. And I kept saying, that's from your family. That's from your family. And a dozen times. And he was like, I have no memory. And then he was like, is this what it feels like to be gaslit?
Yes, it is.
Kind of.
It is kind of. You're like, I'm going crazy. To circle back just real quick about the Balenciaga. I really had started. I wasn't even going to really talk about this. I really had started because Khloe Kardashian has posted so many ads recently, paid posts on Instagram.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That are for literal, the most insane shit ever, where it's they must just be giving her a truck of money backs up to her house.
All
in
I know
cash.
about is her migraine ads.
No, I told the migraine people. I was like,
just know
I want that. They were at the women.
Oh yeah.
The Glamour Women of the Year Awards. The account people for that campaign, and they were fans of mine, and so they came over and they were like, "Oh, we work with Glamour, or we advertise in Glamour, so we're all here, and we're on the team that does this." This migraine thing. Do you get migraines? I was like, well, actually, I do kind of sometimes. And then I was like, wait, is that the Khloe ads? And they're like, yeah. And I was like,
hook you up.
Hook this girl up.
All I know is they keep showing the advertisements and it's on streaming, and the big opening line is Khloe says, "There's nothing glamorous about migraines," and I'm like, whoever said, was that a thing that people were like, I've been thinking about getting migraines because they're glamorous.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
Look at this ad. What is this? She has a thing on her head and she's playing and she's punching it.
Oh, it's like a paddle ball like you'd get in your Christmas stocking, but it's attached to her head.
Yes. And she's punching it. It's called, I don't even want to say it. Because then it means it's worked.
This is when we know.
It looks so insane.
This is when we know we're in a simulation.
And then also this hydro ambassador, this rowing thing.
Okay.
Where she's in full makeup. The machine is... The rowing machine is sort of just pulled into the center of the gym by itself.
Yeah, sure.
And she's I don't even know.
She's got a row.
But they're back. These were back to back.
Oh my gosh.
And
so she's just making cash.
Oh my God. And then there was another one. Look, and then there's this one. So it's it's multiple ads back to back.
Right.
And I'm a little bit really?
What's happening with her? What is she trying to save up for, do we think?
I don't know. Sometimes I can smell a divorce coming on when I see people really upping their
paid
posts.
That's always my theory sometimes when a high-profile guy lets his partner be, not lets, but when a high-profile person, when their partner goes on The Real Housewives, I think that's when that they're about to hit them with a divorce request while they're distracted by being a new housewife.
Oh, the husband is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I always think the husband's like, oh yeah, you should do that. That would be like a good thing for you. Get your name out there.
Interesting.
And they feel like they're, they'll be busy. The husband can do whatever the fuck he wants and just like walk on camera, grumble something. And then when they get the actual divorce, it'll be her storyline. And then also it's like a gift to her because it's like giving her a platform for when she has to like go fly and be on her own.
Wow.
That's my theory. Who knows if it's true, but I feel like it has been true. And I feel like it's maybe like a publicist suggestion to
no one
Kelsey
suggested
Grammer.
No one suggested anything to me and Mark. You know what I mean?
Well, because you guys had it on lockdown and you were handling your business privately. But if Mark was like, if Mark was a Kelsey Grammer type talking to his publicist, who knows?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Mark is on the phone with his publicist daily. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine if Mark had a publicist? Spin control. No. Anyway, my only point is that like, no matter what, you are in control of what you promote and what you take money for and what you don't.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
And like, I have made errors in judgment myself with brands that I have worked with.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, you're human. You can't know everything all the time.
Right.
I have learned in the last many years that I've done like commercial work how to like, because I have the privilege of like saying no to a lot, like how to do research on things. But sometimes you don't fucking know things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or something comes to light later.
Or they do a sickening, fucking unacceptable ad campaign that requires like a real response from them and like actual action taken.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I just feel like saying like I talked to them and okay, they know it was a mistake. Like what?
Yeah.
No, it's not okay.
That's when I'm like, I think people's brains break a little bit. And I think when you're in this like weird stratosphere of like fame and money, I think your brains get broken a little bit.
Wait. But to circle back.
Yeah.
When that shit came out about Harvey Weinstein, it's not like I was like, oh, because he was like always really nice to me.
Right.
I was like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Holy shit. Did I get fucking like, thank God, nothing, and those poor women and people who were subjected to such just unfathomable abuse at the hands of this monster. And like, he emailed me once after. Did I tell you this? I feel like I was
with you one time when you got an email from him.
You were?
Yes.
Wait. Because I Feel Pretty was coming out, right?
We were in a car together. Yeah.
Right. He emailed me one time, like, hearing great things about I Feel Pretty, like as if he were still in the film industry.
Yeah, just picking up a conversation.
Himself.
Yeah.
And I was so like, I remember like shaking. Like I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you were very freaked out.
I didn't know. I was like, do I forward it to the FBI? There's nothing here. Like he literally was like, it was before he had been sentenced, maybe before he was charged.
Yeah, I can't remember
We could look at the timing.
I know that I was like surprised that he was reaching out.
And in such a way that was like, it felt so like
casual.
Like but also how my own experience with my relationship with the Weinstein Company and with Harvey Weinstein which was just like professional.
Right.
It was like hearing great things about I Feel Pretty, tell Mark I think it's great, like love to the family.
Right.
Like, here's to a big opening weekend or something like that. And I was just like, oh my God.
Well, that's
holy
the
shit.
thing, though. That's the thing about predators, right? And it's why everybody has to be careful, because to me, that seems like he was taking your temperature to see, like,
oh my God, totally.
if I'm able to,
I didn't even think about that.
if I'm able to get back in, is Busy going to be an ally to me? Like, if I skate on all of this, who can I count on to let me back in? And to,
not me.
Right. Exactly.
Not fucking me.
Exactly.
No.
So,
to be fair, guys, I didn't write back like, go fuck yourself, you horrible rapist monster, because I just like didn't, I was like, I didn't write anything.
You didn't know what to do at all. Like, you were like,
I just was like,
is this evidence? What is this?
No, I literally was like, Caissie, what do I do? You're like, I think you can just delete. Delete it. Change my email. Delete. Change the email.
That's how predators work. They're good at it. They are always testing and, and being provocative,
right.
Saying a little thing to see how you'll react to it. And then
because like I said, look, I remember one of the last times I probably saw him, he had produced movies that Michelle was in, and we were at the Tonys and I saw him there, and he would always say something like vaguely objectifying about a beautiful woman nearby.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And vaguely like, or he would say like, this is my new girl. Oh, here comes my new girlfriend. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was like, I don't know. I thought it was like bravado or like just like gross-ish, like pushing like you said, like testing the waters a little bit, because but that's also not to say, I mean, rapists are rapists, and like, it doesn't, if he had whatever, a bee in his bonnet about, let's just say me, for instance, it wouldn't have mattered what kind of response I had ever given him.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But a person just wants to know, like, is it safe for them to act like they really want to act around you? And so,
I mean, and I would always be like, I'd be like, ew. Like, ew.
Exactly.
Dude,
so
ew.
that reaction probably prevented him from like testing further. Here's the thing that I wish I'd known when I was younger, but I know now. Being provocative isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just want to because words are meaningful. And sometimes I think I'm not saying that all provocateurs are bad. Sometimes being provocative in art or even in personal relationships can be a good thing. It just means you're trying to provoke a reaction in someone. So it doesn't always mean like someone's trying to entrap you in like a predator and prey situation.
Did you read that Variety article about the writer who was like on Scrubs and stuff, and like had worked for 20 years and was like a serial rapist in his private life? And like Daisy, who is her last name Gardner, maybe? Daisy, who actually works on Single Drunk Female. I just met her. I worked with her a little bit, had worked with him in a room, and has a few quotes, which like, I mean, it's kind of a bummer. Like, you don't want to be in an article like that and be the one that's like, I don't know, I just like thought he was one of those guys that like said weird, gross shit, but like was fine.
Right.
But that's like essentially what we're saying here. Like, everyone's had that experience with someone, whether or not you've worked in the entertainment industry, I think, with a man who's like said a weird thing at a certain point, and you're like, ew.
Well, that's what I wanted to say about being a provocateur. Like, if someone says something provocative that like gets a reaction out of you, this is what I wish I knew back then that I know for sure now. Why is this person trying to get a reaction out of me? That is the question I wish that I knew to ask myself back then. Because if it's for something, if it's to make me realize how wrong something is or how beautiful something is, if someone's being provocative in service of making a really important point that they want me to be enlightened on, then interesting. Provocative artists do that all the time.
Well, like Sarah Silverman's like early stand-up
exactly.
was like very, very provocative.
Yes. Song lyrics often evoke and provoke a feeling in you. And that's trying to like open your eyes to something. If someone's saying something provocative and it is for no productive purpose and everybody just kind of shrugs and is like, oh, that's how that person is. I wish I knew back then that you could be like, well, let me walk away from this person and never be in their orbit ever again, because there's no fucking reason to do that. And so what I know now is that when somebody is being provocative in that way, it usually means that they are testing something. Like in my experience, hardly ever is anyone like weird and sexually gross and like making inappropriate comments because they just think it's fun and that's just how they are and that's their sense of humor. Usually, I'm going to say 99.9% of the time, that person is testing the situation to see how people react, to see who they can get away with who, and they're really fucking good at it. They're good at keeping track of who is a quote unquote, safe person where they can behave in their predatorial way, who will probably vouch for them or not stop them, not call them out. And it's always so wild to me because I'm like, it's got to be like a whole second job for these people to like keep track of who they can act like this toward, who they can push it with and keep pushing it. And it's so fucked up because they're like really, a lot of them are really highly achieved. It's like how I wonder like how serial killers find the time to like do their job all day sometimes. And, you watch like a documentary series about how a serial killer like was a mechanic and then every night at sundown, like assembled this murder kit and then went all over the state of California serial killing people. Like it's insane, but they're really driven to do it and really, really good at it. And obviously have had some success at pushing people to just behave in the way that they want them to behave and manipulating people because obviously, like we hear about it all the time, but I just like, there's no reason to be provocative in that way, especially when you're just in like a regular situation with someone. There's no reason. And so I just wish I had known that when I was younger.
I think that's really good advice.
Somebody's never just like that. Really. Like name a time when someone was just like that and they didn't really like take it any further. Never.
I don't know. But I'm with you.
Yeah. Anyway, I get super wound up about this stuff because I think it's just like, I hope it's something that younger generations, people of all genders are more aware of, that you can't.
Well, Birdie is.
Yeah.
Look at this kid with the way that the like middle school boys, like with specifically like this one of the kids in middle school, the things that he's like said and done to Birdie, that Birdie's like, that's not acceptable. That's not okay.
Right.
You don't get to treat me like that. You don't get to make those gestures at me. You don't get to say damn when I walk past you. Like, I don't want that and I don't like it. And like, it's pretty badass. I would have never fucking done that in 8th grade. You kidding?
Right. Yeah, I know. And
I would have been like,
Exactly. And so then what I want further is I want the boys around that boy to be like, dude, fucking stop.
I agree.
And I think that people are doing a better job with their boys. I know, I remember one time Lincoln saying like, I don't know, some classmate was like pissed because he had bought gifts, I think, for like another girl and like complimented her and whatever. And then when he finally asked her out, she said no. And he was like pissed because he felt owed her attention. And, I just remember Lincoln saying like, she's not a vending machine where you like keep putting coins in till you get out what you want from, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. So, you know, I am heartened that I'm heartened to hear that Birdie is like, knows what's up.
But Birdie's also like unusual.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And our parent teacher conference was like proof of that. You know, like they were very effusive, like especially one of Birdie's teachers was like incredibly effusive about how unique Birdie is.
Yeah.
In being able to stand so firmly in what they know is right and wrong and what they feel is acceptable or not acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of kids still struggle. And I think a lot of kids struggle because they don't see older people modeling the behavior that they should be modeling, not on television, not in movies, not on the internet.
Right.
You know, like how frequently do you see on Instagram if like somebody shows up to like bully me, is there like a dude that shows up to be like, guys, shut the fuck up? You know what I mean?
Right.
Rarely.
Yeah.
How many men have even fucking posted about abortion?
Right. It's true. I think that not everybody is always going to stand up with like an iron spine and scream about what is right or wrong. But my hope is that people will at least start doing some small things. And I think that we have to let people do small things. And so, like, if somebody's moving away from someone because they're like, I don't know, I just don't like that person's vibe, let that happen. Don't question that person. You know, don't make excuses for the person that gave them weird vibes or whatever. Just let them do it. Even if someone's not courageous enough to be like, you know, to stand up and call out a person in public, let them move away. Let them sever those ties. Encourage people. Because like those small things, even if you're not like the most outspoken, most courageous person in the world, those small things do make a difference and they do add up. And they will like possibly protect you in the long run a little bit. But there's just, it's just still like obviously fucking pervasive, you know, which is the bummer of a lifetime.
It is the bummer of a fucking lifetime. And it's also just like, God, I don't know. I don't know. I just want to like put my Christmas decorations up and not be concerned about this. Blue Land, everybody loves it. Blue Land. I love Blue Land.
I love Blue Land so much.
I think Blue Land is a great gift. I'm not kidding.
I do too.
I think it's a great gift for someone.
Yeah, I think especially someone that's moving into a new place or just someone that's trying to consolidate.
Guess what new best friend Jen Tulloch is getting?
Ah, good.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a great gift.
She's moving into her new place soon, and I'm bringing it over. A little care package. I'm making a little basket of Blue Land reusable bottles and refills and bottles. Guys, every year around the holidays, Americans throw away 25% more trash. Ugh. What?
From Thanksgiving
what if we told
to
you,
New Year's. Yeah.
From Thanksgiving to New Year's. What if we told you there was a way to get all your shopping done without the guilty feeling over the waste that typically comes with it? Well, Blue Land, this is what we're saying. Get it. Get it. Blue Land is on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic by reinventing cleaning essentials to be better for you and the planet, and also just look very chic in their glass bottles.
You know, that's what I love. I'm so shallow,
I know,
but I just
Me
love.
Too.
I love.
It's not shallow. It's like honestly, it's really you want to surround yourself with beauty.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It makes all the difference in the world. They have these beautiful forever bottles. You fill it with warm water, you drop in a tablet, you get cleaning. The refills start at just $2. You don't have to buy a new plastic bottle every time you run out. You can set up a subscription. You can buy in bulk. I love the toilet cleaner tablet that you just drop in.
Smells
a game changer.
So good.
Lavender. Mine is lavender.
Yeah, they smell beautiful and they're so easy to use. You just plop it in the toilet.
I love the laundry tablets. I love the cleaning sprays. I love the hand soap. Check out their Clean Essentials kit. It has everything you need to get started in their signature scents. You get to choose iris agave, fresh lemon, eucalyptus, and mint. For a limited time, their hand soap is getting their festive holiday upgrade with 3 cozy scents. Apple butter, come on. Maple pumpkin or vanilla chai. Get into that. Guys, we love it. We love it. We want you to love it. We want you to make better choices for the environment and for your families. To take advantage of their best sale of the year, go to blueland.com/best. You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/best. That's blueland.com/best. Everly well, Everly well. Everybody loves Everly well.
That was a good one.
I know, it is good. Listen, we talk about allergies a lot on the podcast later today. And I just want to say there's no truer way to say I love you than helping someone find out what they have sensitivities to and their allergies. That's why this year, why not give the gift of health to your loved ones with Everly Well? You can find 30 plus at-home lab tests, plus vitamins and supplements and more for every person on your holiday list. This year, prioritize what matters most. Share the gift of health with Everly Well. The at-home lab tests like food sensitivity, women's health, men's health. Come on. Love and health are all you need. Everly Well is digital healthcare designed for you with personalized results and accessible tools for long-term health. Here's how it works. Everly Well ships products straight to you or your loved one with everything needed in one package. And if you order an at-home lab test, the sample can simply be collected at home and shipped back to the certified lab in the prepaid envelope included with the test. Digital physician-reviewed results are sent straight to your preferred device in just days. If you order vitamins or supplements, you can start adding them to your daily routine right away. It's so simple. Over 1 million people have trusted Everly Well to support their health and wellness goals, and now you can help your loved ones do the same. Guys, it's good to know things. Information is key.
It's so good to know things. It's also just interesting to have things confirmed that you suspected or find out that something that you were worried about maybe isn't something that you need to worry about right now. And it's so easy. Like if it was complicated, I wouldn't do it. And
I mean,
it's
just, I wouldn't. Highly recommend it. I think it is a very cool gift. The gift of health has never been so easy to share than it is this holiday. For listeners of our show, Everly Well is offering a discount of 20% off an at-home lab test. That's great. At everlywell.com/best. That's everlywell.com/best for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/best. Anyway, I did do some holiday crafting.
You never got the foam.
No. Foam was a wild goose chase.
That's such a bummer because like
annoying.
I looked
They didn't have it at the hardware store either.
I looked up the Home Depot in your zip code and it said they had 1,000 cans in stock.
Honey, this is New York City. 1,000 cans can disappear like that. No, I did, however, I sculpted using my favorite air dry clay stuff. I sculpted these like little mushrooms, which are all the rage in holiday decor this year.
Adorable.
And I saw some that were very expensive and I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to make them. And so I did. And they're really, really cute. So I did like a bottle brush, tree, LED light, little clay mushroom scape on my mantle.
That sounds
great. Very narrow mantle.
Okay.
And so it requires creativity.
Yeah.
It's not like a big mantle that you can like drape greenery across.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's tiny.
Sure.
So I did do that. And I had another question for our listeners. How do you know if plants are too big for their pots and they need to be replanted somewhere else or in other pots?
That's a good question.
Does anyone know?
That's a good question.
Like the plants can't tell you.
I think sometimes a pot will contain the size of a plant and it'll do okay, but it just won't get bigger in the pot. But I don't know. I mean, I guess you'd probably start to see like some evidence of like roots coming out where they shouldn't be.
Okay, I do definitely have that on one of my plants.
Okay,
but
yes.
I don't know how to repot plants, indoor plant. I don't know how to do this, guys. Seems too hard for me. And also, I want to say that no plant in the family home is staying alive. They're all dying.
Oh no!
But all the plants in Kismet, Casa Kiz, are thriving, but it has the best light here.
Right.
Really good light.
Is it that they're lacking light or?
I think so. I think that they're just not getting the light that they so deserve.
That's a tough one.
I know. And I feel bad for them. And like one of them was like so heavy that I don't even know how to move it to get it over here. I was like, I'll just bring it to Casa Kismet. It can live here. But I don't even know how I can do that for it.
Well, I know Plant TikTok has a lot of advice on it.
I don't know how to look at stuff on TikTok. I know how to look at it if you send it to me, but I don't know how to like search for it. I'll just end up in some fucking wormhole about plastic surgery. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what to do.
Maybe is there like a plant specialist that in
there must
New
be.
York that can come?
Guys, if you or one of your friends is a plant specialist and you want to help me out with my plants, please reach out to our podcast line. And
yeah, that's a rough one.
Maybe we can do a little, I don't know, FaceTime.
Our house plants are doing really well, but our outside plants, I'm gonna call out my husband a little bit here because, you know, California is very drought cautious, and because it's like always a drought here and the state burns down every year. And so, you know, makes sense. Let's conserve water. But we had like a sprinkler system set up, and like, so they told us that we can like use water for a certain amount of time on Mondays and Fridays because of like drought conditions. But I think my husband was like, if there's drought conditions, let's not use any water at all whatsoever. So my yard is everything's pretty dead right now. Because I was like, why is everything in our yard dead, including like our grass and everything? And he was like, oh, because I turned the sprinklers off. And I was like, no, they said we could use it on Mondays and Fridays. But he was like, but it's a drought. You know, he was doing more than our part is the point. But now we have.
Well, that's good because there's lots of people in Beverly Hills that lie and use more water than they deserve.
Oh, well, if we had to sacrifice our water usage for anyone, I'm glad we did it for liars in Beverly Hills.
Well, apparently that's what happens. I don't know.
I believe it. I know sometimes people get like ticketed or investigated, but we were not in danger of that.
Is this going to be such a bummer of a podcast? It's just like talking about like sexual assault.
Well,
it feels.
I mean, it's not fun to talk about, but it's an important and interesting conversation, I think, to have. But
I do too. I just don't understand sometimes why it's difficult for. I don't know.
Because I think people's brains get broken, and I just think
but
they're
like, how do we stop it?
We don't stop it. Like, that's the thing.
It's not for us.
You know what I mean? It's not for us.
It's like not for her.
All you can really do is, like you said, what you had to say about it. Don't buy Balenciaga.
Well, I mean, never. Well, I did one time buy sneakers a long time ago.
So, you know, and then you decide, do you keep wearing those sneakers?
They weren't for me. They were for Mark.
They were a gift, yeah. But does Mark keep wearing those sneakers, or does he?
I don't know if he hasn't worn them in a long time.
There you go. So, I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. And then, like, it's the free market, baby. Like, that's how it will get sorted out. If enough people who believe strongly about this kind of thing don't buy Balenciaga products, then they'll be like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. I don't know how we change, but like if they're paying people millions of of advertising dollars to like, I don't know how you cure that, because I think like when your life is mostly about business and mostly about money, then, then that's what it's mostly about. And you don't see the point of getting so upset about things that are very upsetting to other people. Now, do I know whose life is mostly about money? No, I'm only making a guess from what I see from the outside sometimes. And, I don't see people making a lot of, tough decisions where money is concerned. I don't see people saying like, I absolutely couldn't do this because even though it's millions of dollars, I absolutely couldn't because I disagree with this company. I don't see that a lot. So,
I mean, right. But then again, we don't see that.
Right. Yeah, we probably never know a lot about people that are like, I absolutely wouldn't do that.
I mean, I've never been offered millions of dollars, but I've been offered a lot of money for some things that I'm like, oh no, I can't. No,
Right.
I'm not interested in that.
Right. That's like shady, or like I don't want to work with that company because of their history, or anything like that. But it's weird. I mean, I always think of when we're having like, this is, all of that aside, like when we're having the conversation about like a lot of American celebrities don't do advertisements here, but they do them in other countries because they're being like protective of their image here. And then in other countries, they're like, oh, I'll do an ad for this gravy. I don't give a shit if people don't take me seriously in this other country. But it's so funny because like, with the internet, they make their way here now. And also like everything's global now. So it's
everything's global, but also everyone does ads. Everyone does everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
like no one is... Maybe it's my ear, not my throat. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Right here?
Well, your
Look,
ear...
it's right here.
Yeah, your ear, nose, and throat
and
are
your
connected.
nose and throat are all connected.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go see my guy tomorrow.
Go see your guy, because you know what I'm so scared of now? Like, remember our Katie Storino had, like, shingles in her ear?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Do I have shingles?
No, I don't, but
oh my God.
You don't.
Are you sure? How do you know?
I can't know, but that's what I'm that's my biggest fear now, is getting shingles in my ear.
What's shingles in your ear?
I don't know. That's why I'm
What's shingles in your throat?
I don't know.
Do I have shingles on one side of my throat?
I hope not, but this is like, it's my...
Shingles was apparently going around LA, and I was just in LA.
Ugh.
Shingles in ear. Google.
Shingle bells.
Oh my God, don't do it.
Because you can't get the
no, that's like facial paralysis.
Yeah,
that's like Ramsey Hunt. No,
yeah,
I
that's
clearly,
what she
I clearly
had.
don't
Yeah.
have that.
Okay. But I'm just saying that's like my biggest fear. So whenever my ear hurts for like 1 second, I'm like, oh my God, it's happening to me too. Because that looked rough. She looked like she was in rough shape.
Yeah, she did not feel good.
Yeah.
I know that. Shingles in throat? Question mark? Shingles is like chicken pox.
Yeah,
or it's also
super chicken pox.
But it also seems like it's what's the other one? Herpes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You literally were like, yes.
Oh my gosh. That's who else has another commercial on the streaming, that Julia Fox.
Wait, I'm kind of obsessed with Julia Fox.
Have you seen that one for Uber Eats? Where she's like...
She's so bizarre.
She's in full
how weird she is.
Julia Fox regalia. I think it's Uber Eats. I just ordered roasted yams, Hawaiian pizza without ham, and then my favorite, untossed jams. And then I'm like, I get it. I get why that's
a thing.
Yeah, but I also feel like so many people watching Hulu, like my mom watching Hulu, is probably like, what the fuck is she talking about? And I'm like, that could so easily be me.
I mean,
wondering,
so easily be you saying, what the fuck is she
talking about?
Listen, that is true.
Yeah.
It's so frequently could be either one of us. about any number of things. Do you know what I mean? Listen, you didn't know about Balenciaga.
I didn't know about it. And that's...
You didn't... that's surprising to me. That is surprising to me.
If it's not...
that you didn't know about
I guess if it didn't happen between segments on streaming on Hulu this weekend, I don't know about it.
Oh, I also watched the first episode of Wednesday with Cricket. We watched it together. It was really cute.
Did she love it?
We really liked it. Yeah, we both really liked it. I think it's a really, really good show.
I watched Chippendales with Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, that's a great movie. I loved that movie.
Yeah, well, it's a show.
Wait,
it's Jenny Connor's
I
new
thought
show.
it was. Oh my god. I thought it was the squirrels. I was just thinking about. The chipmunks. I was just,
Chippendale. Yeah. Which I heard was really good.
It is really good. It is. No, that's Jenny Connor's new show. I haven't watched it
Jenny
yet.
Connor's new show, Chippendales, with Kumail.
Haven't watched it.
Yes.
It's supposed to be fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed that I literally was like, oh yeah, that's a great movie. I watched that with Cricket too. Cricket and I loved Chippendale.
I'm glad we straightened it out.
Guys, what is wrong with me?
Oh my gosh. Well, Biz, I feel so sad that you weren't able to get the foam, because I feel like, listen, I know what you said about the spray foam not being environmentally friendly. I have that thought myself. But I feel like if you make a craft out of it that you use year after year,
That's true.
could eventually be used as a flotation device. Eventually. I feel like but maybe when I come to town, maybe I'll find some spray foam.
I've got a couple people looking for it right now.
Okay. Because I have long been a fan of, as I told you, I've been a fan of spray foam crafts since I saw Martha Stewart talk about. Martha Stewart one time was making, I think that I'm confused. This is a thing that feels like it could have happened in a fever dream. But if you watched Martha Stewart's daytime show, tell me if you remember this.
I did.
Tell me if you remember. It seems like it was Halloween costumes. But then it also seems like in my mind, they were all Thanksgiving themed. So I remember a baby dressed as a turkey and
really
babies dressed as all kinds of Thanksgiving foods. I don't know why. So maybe it was a Thanksgiving segment. I don't know why you would dress your baby up for Thanksgiving, but maybe. But I remember they had a baby that was, the costume was a pie. And I think Martha sprayed spray foam insulation right on top of the baby. To finish it off, to be here's how you do the meringue top.
Way.
I swear to God, because why would it stick in my mind if that didn't happen? And I was like, A, spray foam insulation is a great idea for making crafts and costumes, but also B, did Martha Stewart just spray foam insulation expanding foam on the baby? Right on a baby?
Listen, I gotta tell you something. Maybe it's not top. I don't know. I haven't gotten it yet. Let's remember this. I'm the one that doesn't have it.
Right.
So who
maybe
am I to say whether or not it's toxic or not toxic?
Right. I mean, I think you're probably right. It's polyurethane, right? That can't be.
None of it seems great. Wait, there was one other thing I wanted to say.
What?
Before we have to go, because I have to go get ready for the awards I'm going to with Michelle. And then we'll talk tomorrow morning.
Great.
What was it? Oh, crypto. We never got to say we told you so.
Crypto.
Not that we
told you so.
Hey, crypto, guess what? We saw right through you.
Go fuck yourself, crypto.
Hey, crypto. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, crypto. We knew it. We knew you were bogus. We knew you fucking sucked. We knew that you were going to take a bunch of people's monies. And you did.
You did.
And
you proud of yourself?
Am I sorry for the innocent crypto? You should feel disgraced. You're a disgrace.
Oh my God. Also, in other I Told You So news, before you go.
Yes.
Did you notice that Jennifer Lopez announced she's doing This Is Me Now? Remember This Is Me Then was the Ben Affleck inspired album from 20 years ago. And now This Is Me now. So
Excuse me?
yeah,
Excuse me?
yeah.
Oh my
I
God,
saw
we
it.
never talked about her like weird TikTok with him. That was so
where he was like
cringy.
chewing gum so hard, which I
don't know,
like,
where she
by the
was,
way.
like, you like people that chew gum hard?
No, I don't, but sometimes I
Oh.
do. But sometimes I do. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you do chew gum hard.
No,
Or
sometimes
sometimes
I
you like when you see someone chewing gum
Yes.
hard. Listen, here's what I'm going to say about Ben Affleck. He's always had a strong jaw. He does. He's got a strong jaw. I don't know what that means, but it's definitely like he's definitely always had a strong jaw.
People that know me know that I love a clip of Prince chewing gum because he would really like fucking go to town on a piece of gum. So that's like a thing. But it's not just like, it's not unique to just Prince, apparently. And I would find it disgusting if many other people did it. But I didn't.
But if you're into the person, you don't hate. For instance, you didn't hate Ben Affleck smacking his gum.
And like, by the way, I'm not into Ben Affleck, and like I you know,
I mean,
I'm
don't know.
interested in him. I wouldn't have thought that I would be like, oh, but that's the one time where I was like, I'm not mad about the gum chewing. But yeah.
But did you see the weird TikTok where she's like, and then she's like lip syncing to like a little kid's voice, which I hate.
Oh, I
when
didn't
adult
see
women,
that.
adult women who are listening, please don't do it. Don't lip sync to a child. I hate it so much. It is disturbing. It's not cute. It's not cute.
All right.
You're not doing it.
No, but it's good to know because like now I send you TikToks, obviously, sometimes that send you on a wild goose chase.
You're never going to send me a TikTok of a lady lip syncing with a child's voice. You're just not. I know you.
It's just
you
good to know the rules of the universe within which I'm operating.
Did you see that thing where it was like a viral tweet where someone was like, someone said that guys share memes that they think are funny and women share memes they think you would find funny, and I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like, oop, that's true.
That makes sense. That goes along with, you know, that like, I think we've talked about this on the podcast. Men and women both say sense of humor is very important in finding like a partner, but men and women define sense of humor differently. Women, like a man with a sense of humor who laughs at their, wait, I'm saying this wrong.
Men want people to laugh at them.
Their jokes.
Women want to find someone funny.
Yes, that's exactly right. So that makes sense. That's the meme thing in real life and universal to everyone. Did you find it? The lip syncing TikTok?
Guys, obviously, if you just look up lip syncing and JLo, it's not what you're gonna want.
Right. That's a hard.
You know what I mean?
That's a hard. Search
It's a
term.
hard thing to.
I would just like to say that although I know she denied that she was making the Jenny from the Block video over again. Speaking of things that went viral, my theory about that did go very viral. I'm not calling JLo a liar. But I'm just saying she is remaking that album.
I mean, listen, we're not calling her a liar.
No.
I'm not calling you a liar. Don't lie to me.
I just think it's interesting. I just find it interesting. That's something from that era on which that song was contained is being remade. So, just made me say, huh. Oh, you found it.
I got it. Gonna have to sit through this ad on YouTube. And then you're gonna hear skip ad.
TikTok video together on Sunday. In the video, Jennifer Lopez was seen snuggling up to her husband.
Oh my God, stop.
On a private
Lady, I already did it.
playing in the background before a child's voice adds, guys,
What? I want to hear the child's voice, you idiot. Ooh, oh, that was so mean. Wait.
the video comes ahead of the
Okay, stop. I want.
true love, then you will
Oh my God. What is this fucking lady doing?
Oh, that's content now where someone just describes the thing that you want to watch.
Oh my God. That's exhausting.
That's someone's whole job to just describe a TikTok that they're about to show you.
No, but she didn't show me the fucking TikTok.
That's another job. That's another job to describe a TikTok that they're never going to show you.
Guys, I did it. I found the person that makes me the happiest I have ever been.
That's it. She doesn't lip sync to it, by the way. I was wrong. I remembered it incorrectly. But I still think it's annoying and gross. I mean, I just like don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't think she's annoying and gross. I just don't like that trend of like a little kid, like, I don't know. I just don't like it.
Wait, was Ben Affleck chewing gum in that TikTok?
Yes!
That's the one. See,
we're talking about the same one.
I only focused on the gum and you were hating on the little kid's voice. I never even heard that. That didn't even exist to me.
I don't know. I have to tell you, like, it's so funny. I really have to go because I have to go get ready.
Yeah.
Like, I really get like annoyed at like precocious kids on TikTok. Like Birdie tries to show me things sometimes and I'm like, blech, I don't want to see it. Like, I don't know why. It just like bums me out. Like,
interesting.
It's just, I guess because it feels like there is like such a, wait. And then I really have to go.
Yeah.
Because there are two things. There are like kids that are really like genuinely adorable and like unaware that they're adorable.
Right.
But what is my fear is that there's like a whole like generation of children that are being raised performative in order to watch it back and emulate a thing that they've already seen.
Yes.
Which is totally disingenuous to me.
Because that's their like reward system.
Right. It's their reward system. And also, like, I always had this thing when my kids were little, like I never made my kids say anything again.
Right.
Like how people, they're like, wait, say that again. What did you just say?
Yeah.
Like, because it's SpongeBob ripped his pants. That's like my whole theory. Like you can't get a kid, like once the kid says the thing, if you're not filming it, you didn't get it. It's like that's gone. It's gone. Don't make them do it again because then it's not real. And then they're just performing for you, for your amusement. And like, whatever.
Yes.
You guys, I'm not a parenting expert. I don't fucking know. This is just like, this is my personal preference. I'm just saying there's a thing that's happened with like these little kids now on some of these sites where it's like very clearly disingenuous. It's like not real.
Yeah.
The way that they're talking feels not real. And like I'm the first person that's like, kids say crazy shit. They say the most amazing things. They say like things that like if you posted it, people would be like, eye roll. Your kid didn't say that. You said that.
Right. Yes.
Fine. I know, have heard, have seen all kinds of kids, not just my own kids, say and do brilliant, fucking weird, awesome things. But there's like a very specific thing in social media, like a performative thing with kids that like drives me crazy.
Yeah, where it has to be for something. And you're like, sometimes it's just like, it's not for anything. It just happened. And that's what's delightful about it.
And like that in it, that voiceover, I don't know what that voiceover is from.
Yeah.
But it's like so clearly fake.
Yeah. Maybe it's from like a scripted thing. Like
if it is, right. Yeah. A lot of times that's what people use on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I just like, because it's like fake, it's like a kid actor.
Just got
I guess this really comes down to the fact that I hate child actors. I'm kidding. But I don't think that children should be actors,
Yeah. Well,
we haven't come up with a good alternative yet, but I really don't think that they should do it unless they're your own child.
That's right.
And they're playing your own child.
That's my YA book that how that goes wrong when they invent synthetic child actors. That maybe I'll put it on the Substack because it's not being made.
Or what if it's like a huge hit? Or like the movie AI.
Right.
Exactly. What's his name?
Exactly.
I sat next to him at a dinner party.
Haley Joel Osment.
Haley Joel Osment.
Who's a grown up.
Nice.
He's a grown up.
I sat next to him at a dinner party. And that was years ago. And he was a grown up. He's been a grown up for a long time.
He was only a little kid for a short time. I
As
did
we
have
all
that
are.
experience one time where I tweeted something. I said, my son said, blah, 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 whatever he
Oh,
said.
same. I
can't remember. But then somebody was like, oh, I'm sure your kid really said that. And I was like, he's 20. He did. He just said it.
You're like, yeah, my child did actually fucking say it, dude. Bye.
He's a grown man. All right,
I have to go
an
get
award
ready.
Show. We'll reconvene tomorrow and see how everything's going.
Okay. Bye, guys.
All
Have a great
right.
one. Bye. Foria, 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 Foria. You know what you should be doing this winter?
What?
Having orgasms.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
You know what's the best thing to do when it's cold out?
have
Orgasms.
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 You
I'm
don't
gonna
have
say
a
it,
fireplace? Who the heck cares? Have an
Keep
orgasm.
yourself hot. Get yourself hot. Get yourself warmed up with Foria, guys. Get yourself all warmed up with Foria. You know what Foria does? Foria gives you the best orgasm or sex you've ever had.
True.
Truly. With products that are designed to naturally enhance sexual pleasure and give you access to bigger and better orgasms. Solo, with a partner, with toys. I don't know your life. I don't know what's happening.
You do what you got to do.
All I know is that if you use Foria, you're gonna enjoy it.
Foria has a serious cult following with tens of thousands of people who have had their sex lives transformed through using their products. The testimonials, I say it every time, are so entertaining to read. I mean, you don't need to go to the newsstand and buy a naughty magazine. You can just read these testimonials.
Yeah, well, people are fully experiencing their sexual pleasure thanks to Foria. Heightened orgasms, more sexual comfort. Maybe you're a person that's like, my partner and I are good. Guys, this ad's not for me. It is for you. It is for you.
Because why just be good?
Yeah. Why? But also, I'm glad that you think you've hit the pinnacle, the apex. But I'm telling you, perhaps, why wouldn't you want to see if you could beat your own record? You know what I mean? And Foria has what we call the perfect combo for peak pleasure. Foria's Awaken Arousal Oil and the Sex Oil, when used together, it's a real chef's kiss, guys.
Yeah. Awaken uses CBD and warming, sensation-inducing organic botanicals that enhance arousal, sensitivity, pleasure, access to orgasm, and help with any discomfort.
You almost said arrival, and I'm going to say it helps with arrival as well. arrival to that orgasm, guys. So yes, you have our permission to try this. It's a great stocking stuffer. Like, guys, just your sister-in-law, your best friend, throw it in their stockings.
Yeah.
Give them the gift. Give them the gift that keeps on giving. You have our permission to try it. We endorse you to go ahead, treat yourself, treat your friends and family members, treat everyone.
Maybe even
you know.
your mom.
Why not? Why not your mom? To more, deeper, fuller pleasure, wherever you can find it as often as possible, start with a bottle of Foria. Foria is incredible, is offering a special deal for our listeners, 20% off your first order by visiting foriawellness.com/best or use code BEST at the checkout. That's Foria, Foria, wellness.com/best for 20% off your first order. We recommend the Awaken Arousal Oil and the Sex Oil. You're going to thank us later. Oh, Print Fresh, we love you so. I was wearing my Print Fresh jammies last night. I love them so much.
They're
the perfect
cute.
thing in the winter.
I just got a new pair and I can't wait to debut them.
Ugh, I love it. Print Fresh is a woman-owned luxury sleepwear and lifestyle brand. Sizes ranging from extra small to 6X. They have a holiday shop with a curated collection of cozy gifts.
That's where my new ones are from, the holiday shop.
I love it so much. And like I said, it's like they have these really great patterns and like design. They're like they're What is it that you keep saying? You're like they're like whimsical, but they're
colorful
not
and whimsical, but they're not.
But they're not like
childish.
childlike.
Yes,
which I so appreciate because yes, that is exactly it. Like I love things that are like bright, beautiful patterns and colors.
Yes,
but I don't like it when it like I'm like, what am I wearing a cartoon? Like what am I doing? You know, like it's weird. I'm not a child. Like I like bright, whimsical but sophisticated patterns. They really are so spot on.
Yeah, really chic designs.
They're really chic designs, and also I was just going to say like their cotton is so nice, and that's why I think it's the perfect like winter jammies because it like covers. You know, it's like long sleeved and long legged.
Yes,
is that what we call them?
Yeah. Well, they have everything. They have little shorties, everything.
Yeah. I have the shorts too. But I love that because also it's like the cotton that I have, my print fresh jammies, like it's not too heavy. So like if the heat is on, I don't feel like I'm sweating. You know, sometimes you wear like, you get like winter jammies and you like wake up in the middle of the night, like in a pouring sweat.
Your hair plastered everywhere.
Totally.
Yes.
No, this is like perfect level of comfort.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
That is what I would say.
And I like to like sometimes hang out in my jammies, but also like not look like the worst hot mess in the world. And so
100%.
This is just like a way to like look put together and cute. And like if someone snapped my picture in my print fresh jammies, I wouldn't mind.
No, not mad. Not mad. I'm going to wear them under the tree.
Me too.
Yeah. So guys, highly recommend checking out the holiday shop for gifting for everyone on your list, but also maybe gift yourself something cute.
Yeah, they have everything.
On Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa morning or whatever morning you're going to wait, just tomorrow morning. How about tomorrow morning? Anyway, go to printfresh.com/best or use code BEST for 15% off your first order. See what's in store for the season. Snag your gifts early or grab something for yourself or maybe all of the above. That's printfresh.com/best or use code BEST. We love it. We love you, Print Fresh. Are you packed? Are you ready to go? Are you awake?
I'm barely awake, but I'm ready to go. I'm packed.
Amazing.
I figure like, why wake up? You know what I mean? Like, let me just skate through half asleep and then maybe I'll sleep on the plane.
Well, I think you could probably both things you could do. Like you could wake up a little and then you could probably, here's what I'm going to say, take a nice 3.5 hour nap on the plane. They're flying you nicely, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, they accommodated every little request that I had.
Okay. But like, listen, you know what I mean? That's when you get to lie down on a 6-hour flight from LA to New York. And I mean, it ranges from like 5 to 7 hours. Once there was bad weather, and I swear to God, it took like 6 hours and 45 minutes. I can't remember which direction.
Oh my gosh.
It was like so fucking long. But if you're getting flown nicely and you get to lie down, watch a movie and fall asleep, there's like literally no greater pleasure in life.
There's nothing better. I'm not a great flyer, and
Me neither. I used to never
be. Really? I don't typically fall asleep.
But you know you're not going to die on an airplane, right? Because of me. Did you know that?
No,
I'm serious.
Oh, yeah, because you know somebody that.
Well, first of all, statistically speaking, yes. Like my friend, when I was little, died in a commercial airline crash, which was very tragic when I was a little girl.
Right.
So statistically speaking, it would be highly unlikely that someone else that I was very good friends with
would die in a plane crash.
I mean, I actually think it's impossible. But then a psychic told me on an airplane when I was like 14 years old that nothing bad was ever going to happen to anyone I loved on an airplane again or to me.
That's good. That's good to know. I don't know. It's not like I'm not super afraid of having a crash. I don't know what it is. I'm just like too much of a busybody. And I don't sleep on any transportation. really well. Every once in a while, I'll like doze off for a few minutes, but even on like Metro North, where I would like take the train back for like
Trains freak me out. I wouldn't sleep on a train.
Oh my God, busy.
No fucking way.
On Metro North, I'm sure you've been on it. You know that there's like the regular seats that are kind of like airplane seats. And then toward the vestibule, there's 4 seats where 2 and 2 are facing each other. So if like 4 friends, but like 4 friends are hardly ever riding the train together. It's always people commuting, lonely people. Okay, so one day I got on Metro North and all that was left was the 4 seats. And so I took one seat. And then this really handsome, like the kind of handsome person that like you know that you're gawking at them because they're so handsome, but they're used to it because it happens all the time, sat down across from me on that 4-seater thing. And I was like, I never fall asleep on the train, but I'm especially not going to fall asleep on the train. And he was so friendly. He was like, oh, how's it going? How was your day? And I was like, oh, it was a great day. How was your day? And he was like, it was really great. Can't complain. This particularly handsome man, as soon as the train started going, fell asleep, like out like a light, like he just passed out cold.
I love this for him.
I loved it for him too, until he had a screaming night terror in the middle of—
No, he did not. Yes, no, he did not. Like, no, he did not. No, he did not. No, he did not.
And I was like looking around.
No, Caissie, absolutely not.
I was looking around to the car like, do I like wake him up? Like what? I don't— and I'm sure everyone thought that I was with him, which was like a huge compliment to me. But I was just like—
hilarious.
What do I do? And then eventually like it settled down, but he was still kind of twitching like a puppy does, like in their sleep. And then we got to Westport. He got off at my stop and he was like chipper as could be when he woke up, like didn't even seem to have had a sense that he had the world's worst nightmare at 6 p.m. on a commuter train full of people. It was so weird.
Fucking nuts. Well, here's what I want to say to you. Just try to sleep today.
I will.
Just try. I think, if you have any edible weed, you don't have to work when you get here. You don't have to work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to work on the plane a teeny bit, but I'm also gonna do it on my. I'm gonna try not to drag my laptop because that's my most hated thing, banging my laptop across the country. So whatever work I'm doing, it's on my phone. So I'm gonna try to do tiny work on my phone.
I can't do that.
No,
I have to tip tap on my computes. Otherwise, this just doesn't work for me.
I know.
Wait, listen. But Caissie's coming to New York to work with me on a commercial job that we're doing.
Yeah.
Which is, like, we're actually super excited about because it's just fun that we get to work together in this way. I mean, we obviously work together in another way every week. You guys are our friends who know well all about it. But are you bringing all the clothes? Are we going to match? Are we going to do? Are we going to do that?
Yes. They sent me some clothes. Good. So yeah,
because I have them all. Are you staying at the Casa Kismet? You guys, we're just catching up now. I'm actually just getting information that I need, but because of like life and shit, we have
to do it on the podcast. No,
talked.
I'm staying in a hotel near the shoot location.
Nice.
Yes.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. They're hooking you up, girl. Yeah, enjoy it.
It was so nice.
And that's really nice. They are a nice we are working with people that are very nice and we like them so far very much.
This is why I'm saying, like, I was like, they were like, when do you want to fly in? When do you want to fly home? And I said, regarding flying home, since I'm on the East Coast, I'm thinking about just going to visit my mom and then flying home from where my mom lives on Cape Cod. And but I realize this is a huge pain, so just let me know what you have to do and I'll figure it out on my end. And they were like, no, let us help you. We have a strict policy that everyone has to go visit their mom. And so I was like, that's nice people. That's,
It's cute.
Yeah, cute. They're very kind. So we'll tell you more about it later when there's more to know and when you can see the thing.
When you can watch it.
Yeah.
Because it promises to be at least a little ridiculous, I'm sure.
It's also weird because it's like they're so relaxed. This company is so relaxed in a way because it's like,
why can't we can say who it is? Can't we?
I don't know.
Or no, we
That's a
shouldn't.
good. Yeah, we'll just say because when it's closer
Okay.
to the thing, I guess.
Okay, when it comes out.
Yeah.
Right. We don't know. We don't know what their plans are.
Exactly.
Like, for instance, do you know that I got a text a couple weeks ago that was like, "Ooh, could you take down your Instagram post about you being on Single Drunk Female? The network was planning on a big announcement." And I was like, I've been talking about it on my podcast for literally 3 months. I'm like, I don't, that ship I took down the Instagram post, but I was like, that ship sailed, guys. You're going to need to tell me not to talk about a thing if I'm not supposed to talk about a thing. There are obviously things like I knew not to talk about the Girls Five Eva move to Netflix before it happened, but that was because it was like in process. But also I knew that like I needed to wait for them to make a big announcement for that. But like me doing a couple episodes on my friend Jenny's TV show, I didn't think was like a secret. Apparently, I was wrong.
That's one of those things where I'm like, and I get like, in a way, I get it could be like flattering to have someone say they want to make a big announcement about you, like, you know, like, but also it's like not everything is like announcement worthy. Like we're announcing too much.
Okay, we're announcing too much. But also last night I was at the Gotham Awards with Michelle, which is why I scooted out of the first half of the podcast.
Yes, you both looked beautiful.
Thank you. Well, my dear sweet friend who literally pushed a baby out like, I mean, almost 7 weeks ago, I guess now.
Yeah.
7 weeks ago.
Short time.
Good Lord. I can't. It's women are so remarkable, like what we do and what we put ourselves through. And also like it's partially out of necessity, but it's partially, you know, like, I don't know, like just because we just can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're stronger. Like that's the point. We are actually fucking stronger than men. We just are. We just are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
It's true.
Listen, anyone who's seen a Try Guys period simulator video or any other period simulator.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm dying.
It's like where they put like electrodes on a guy's stomach so he can feel what it would feel like to have a period, and every guy blacks out on like level 3 or whatever. Where women are like, what? I can't feel it.
I'm like, truly. Oh my God. Guess who I saw last night? It was so crazy.
Who?
Actually, I saw so many people last night. It was super nice. Oh, but back to like not everything should be an announcement.
Yeah.
When it came time for like the categories of like television shows.
Yeah.
When I tell you that I was like, are they making these names up of the shows? Like there were so many shows nominated that are like the creme de la creme of prestige television. And I was like, Severance, I know.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
That's it. Like I like literally was like, what are these shows? Like I couldn't, and I was sitting near, Michelle was sitting next to Donna Langley.
Yeah.
And at that point, Michelle had like gotten her honor and was, you know, in the taking pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
In the doing interviews. And so I was just there and I like looked at Donna Langley, who is like a huge Hollywood boss lady.
Yeah.
Features. Does she run? What does she run now? She's like,
oh, I don't know.
The head of, hold on, let's look it up just to get it right, guys. Just to get it right for you for the Hollywood break. Not that you fucking care. But I do. She's a British film executive who's chairwoman of Universal Pictures.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. She's also just like fucking gorgeous and naturally like beautiful. Like she's one of these like naturally beautiful people. Anyway, I like looked at her and I was like, are they making these up? And she was just like, she like burst out laughing. I was like, I swear to God, I'm like, I know I don't get to watch a ton of television.
Right.
I know that I'm on The Crown season 4 currently.
Yeah.
But like, how does anyone watch any? No wonder no one could find Girls Five Eva. How do you even like, there's too much TV.
I mean, listen, I don't want to say this because like, obviously like I'm possibly suggesting falling on my own sword, but there's too many platforms on which shows can exist. There are too many celebrities, to be honest, to keep track of. There are whole worlds of celebrities that we're just not even ever going to be aware of.
Remember, that was like when I was like, guys, Chris Rock is on Fargo? Like, what?
Exactly. And there's, yes, too many shows. Like, our friend Paul F. Tompkins is like, oh, wouldn't it be, one time he was saying, wouldn't it be a dream come true to get like a show that is on some platform that you never heard of and no one ever hears of the show, and then you just get to do it for like 6 seasons? And then people are like, oh, what are you up to? And you're like, oh, I'm on the 5th season of this show no one's ever heard of.
By the way, I mean, I do want to say, as someone who was on a show that was like critically acclaimed and no one was watching on a platform that people were like, wait, what is that again? How do I get that?
Right.
Is it free? Can I download it? It sucks. It wasn't great. It's not great. It's not great because you want people to see the stuff you're doing if you're doing something that you think is cool. Anyway, bless all those people, because obviously they're in the best of the best TV shows, but literally other than Severance, I was like, I have no idea what the fuck these shows are.
It's really hard. It's really hard. I follow a ton of critics on Twitter.
and Yellow Jackets. Those were the two I knew what they were. It was like Yellow Jackets and Severance, and that was it. I mean, and by the way, I didn't watch Yellow Jackets because, I can't stand bloody things.
Right. Yeah, it is a little bloody.
But anyway, wait, it was really nice. I had something to say to you. About what was I saying?
Michelle was taking pictures and...
Oh, and I said the thing to Donna Langley. I already did that.
Right. And then was it about Paul Dano's speech for Michelle?
Oh, he is the greatest.
I really like him.
Caissie? I think he's in my top 5 good men in Hollywood.
Yeah. I loved him in the...
There's only 5. It's rotating. But I think he's up there now.
Oh, good. He's in the he plays Brian Wilson in Love and Mercy, and I love Brian Wilson. Which
of course you do.
He's one of my top guys. But yeah, he was so great in that, and that made me love him. But he's great in everything. But
also yes, this is what I was going to say. Like, he's from I've met him before, like through Michelle, because they've worked together a couple of times. Yeah. And from my experience with him, not only is he like, he's obviously like fucking brilliant. I mean, There Will Be Blood.
Yes.
He's so fucking good. He is such a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
But beyond that, he's like not pretentious.
Right.
Not a fucking weirdo. Like, not making it all about himself all the time. And the speech that he wrote for Michelle. So first of all, Steven Spielberg was supposed to present this honor to Michelle.
Okay.
Because he directed this the movie, The Fabelmans, that Michelle's in.
Yes.
That's coming out and everybody should see it. I'm going this weekend. I'm going to pay for it and go see it.
Good.
But anyway, he got COVID. It was Mary Beth Peel, who plays Grams on Dawson's Creek, was supposed to come with me and Michelle. We were going to have a little reunion. She's been in rehearsal for a play. She got sick.
Oh, God.
Not COVID, but just like she was not well. And like, she was just like, I don't. And she doesn't want to like push it. Like she is a bit older. She's a little bit older, and she's like in rehearsals for a play, and she's just like, I can't.
Right.
Which Michelle hadn't told her this, but I knew this, that like Michelle's entire speech was about how Mary Beth changed her life on Dawson's Creek, like working with Mary Beth, because Michelle came in to that experience like an emancipated minor.
Right.
Like, oh no, I'm going to cry. Who's like, newly 16 years old.
Yeah.
Emancipated, no one looking out for her in North Carolina, and on this big teen show. And Mary Beth was just this, like, it was like, like when fate intervenes in someone's life, like the fact that it was Mary Beth in that role, who was, a career artist, actor, an classically trained opera singer, Tony nominated, actress who would do films, do television, go back to the theater and do plays. She was in 9 on Broadway. Like, she's just a mother, you know, and like sort of, you know, and had, you know, had gone to college and like studied and all this stuff. And here's Michelle, who emancipated her, like, you know, she technically, I mean, she like wasn't even like a high school graduate. You know what I mean? She like got her GED.
Yeah.
And this woman just like stepped in and called her my girl and just took such good care of her, but also just like showed her how you exist in this business as a person and an artist.
Yeah.
Mary Beth is one of the most special people I've ever known in my life, and such a brilliant actress. And if you ever, I mean, obviously she's beloved as Grams on Dawson's Creek, but if you ever get a chance to see her in a play or on Broadway, like highly, highly recommend doing it. She's like a true treasure of an artist. And like, for Michelle to, of course, this is like Michelle's like tribute, you know, of her career so far. And she used that opportunity to really like just point the light in the direction of this brilliant woman who like changed Michelle's entire career trajectory and like changed her life. You know?
I love that.
It was really special.
That's so Michelle, right? That's how.
It's so her. I know. And then she was like, she's so sweet too, because I'm like, she literally worked all day yesterday doing press for the Fabelmans. She has a 7-week-old baby who like came to the hotel multiple times so she could feed the child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is what women do. And then she's like, I was like, listen, Michelle, I love you so much, and this is so wonderful. If you need to leave, like, just, honey, I'm good. Like, I don't need to stay here or whatever. And she's like, I don't want to be rude, and I like really, you know, people have worked really hard to be here. I want to make sure that I'm not one of those people that just gets my honor and leaves.
Aww.
And I fucking sat there, and then finally I was like, I'm just gonna say this to you. I think you should go now. Your boobs are getting really big. like, I think you need to go feed your baby. No, she was like, I just need to be home by 9:45. I was like, then you need to leave right now. We can't get caught in the rush. But I saw Aubrey Plaza, which was so nice.
Oh, great.
And chatted with her, and her hair is blonde, and she's like, it's for a role. I'm like, Aubrey, even if it wasn't, it looks great. You look great. You know, like how people always do, like you like qualify something
when you're
about
like,
yourself?
I love that dress. It was on sale.
Right. Like me. Like, you look beautiful. I'm like, I did my own hair and makeup. Like, I didn't have time. Anyway, and then I talked to Adam Scott for a long time, and saw my friend Jen Tullock, who was there with the Severance team.
Oh, great.
And yeah, it was really nice.
Good.
It was just a really nice evening.
I'm glad you had a nice time.
And then I think that this throat thing now, I really feel like it is an ear infection.
It's
so I'm
your
going
ear.
at 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe you'll get something that'll make you feel better right away. I hope so.
I mean, last night I was putting all kinds of lights and lasers, and I did Advil.
Not the post-award show content of Days
Most
of
people
Yore.
No,
yeah.
it's really not. It's not us drunk eating spaghetti. No, it wasn't.
Things have changed.
Things have really changed. They've shifted. They have shifted.
Aww.
I know, but it was like, it was really nice. It's also like weirdly, it's just so funny that I fucking live here, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
I was going to say it's nice. Sometimes it's nice to just, I don't know, not that you're not feeling good. That's not good. Not that people aren't feeling good, but sometimes it's just nice to not be drunk and to just go home and take care of yourself and be able to get into your house and undress yourself out of your beautiful dress.
I did make Cricket help me unzip.
Well, that's good.
Just
She's
FYI.
tall enough now.
She has nimble fingers.
Little nimble
now.
fingers. You need those teeny little fingers.
Little fingers for tiny little zippers. But Stacy got me that dress.
Yeah, it was
which
very
beautiful,
pretty, yeah.
from Hampton. And I think Stacey and I decided this morning on the phone, I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but I think I'm going to auction it off for a charity.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
I know. I think that'll be good. Because I'm going to check with my friend Kimmy Gatewood. You know Kimmy, don't you?
Yeah.
She directs a bunch of Girls Five Evas. And actually, she was in my Largo Thrilling Adventure Hour show a couple of times because she sings too. She's like a lady of all trades.
A lady of all trades.
Yeah, she's multi-talented. And she's nominated for, you know how they're doing those like kids Emmys things, like the Emmys for children's programming this year?
Oh, right, yeah.
She's nominated for Babysitter's Club, I think, for directing Babysitter's Club. And so she called me and she's like, do you by any chance have a dress I can borrow? And I was like trying to I mean, I do, of course. And I was like, yeah, sure. But then last night I was like, ooh, maybe Kimmy should just borrow this. So maybe she will.
Oh, great. Maybe you can give her 2 dresses and she can make one ugly dress out of it, like in Pretty in Pink. 2 good dresses and then...
No. 2 good dresses equal 1 ugly dress?
I mean, that's what happened in Pretty in Pink. I think we've discussed
She should
it
actually,
before.
you know what I think she should wear? She should wear my Lila Rose dress that I wore to the Emmys the year Michelle won. Oh, and we saw Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers and the cast of Fire Island, who were nominated, or not nominated, they were honored.
Oh, great.
With like breakthrough cast, something. And they were so cute.
That was such a good movie.
Oh my God. I fucking love that movie so much. And they were so sweet. And Joel Kim Booster gave just like a really, really great speech too. And Julianne Moore looked beautiful. And Jesse Tyler Ferguson waved at me from stage and was like, hey, babe. And that was exciting. And then there was one other thing I wanted to mention. Brian Tyree Henry.
Oh, I love him.
Who is the greatest.
Yeah.
He's also in my top 5. Wait, oh my God. Wait, Bowen, Paul Dano, Brian Tyree Henry, and Adam Scott. Guys, I have 1 spot left for my top 5 men in Hollywood. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
Who is it going to be? You
Only
know what?
time will tell.
You know who I would vote for?
Who?
Guess.
Chris Pine.
David Arquette.
Yeah. Oh, David Arquette.
I love David Arquette so much.
I saw Patricia Arquette.
Oh, did you? Good.
Yeah, and I talked with her and she's like, wait, you're doing a movie with my daughter. I'm like, me? I am? No, I'm not. And then I remembered, I am. I am like... I was like, Patricia, I'm so sorry. I've been attached to this movie for like 2 years.
Yeah.
To play, it's like really about teen girls, but
Yeah.
to play the mom of one of them. And they wanted to get the parents for whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The parents are important parts, but it's like really about it's a coming of age story about these 2 girls, like
Yes.
based on this woman's life. And I've literally been attached to it for many years.
Yeah.
And it's just sometimes that happens, guys, where like you get offered a movie. It's not like there's any money even discussed. It's like, would you want to do this if we can get the financing for this movie?
Right.
And I read it and met with the director, the woman who wrote it and is going to direct it, and was like, 100% I'm in. And then I'm just like, wait. Now I just wait. And then if they get the rest of their cast together and get the money put together, then I'll do the movie. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
So it was like, but it's not a thing that's like on my daily radar, you know? So Patricia Arquette's daughter was cast in the movie.
Right.
And the director had sent me an email about it like a month ago.
Yeah.
But with everything else that's going on, I was like, great, let me know when you guys are like looking to shoot.
Yeah. I think they do the parents first because it takes a long time to put a movie together. And if you did the teens first, they might age out of the role. And so
That's right.
You set the
You're
parents
right. That's
first.
exactly right. You're right. Anyway, but it was like a funny moment where I could tell she was like, oh my God, did I fuck up? And I was like, I was like, because I know her through Courtney Cox, obviously,
Right,
and David, you know, and haven't seen her in many years, but I was like, Patricia, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what? And she's like, no, it is you. You're playing her mom. What's happening? And I'm like, what's? And then I was
so
like,
funny.
oh shit. Yes, I am. Oh my God. So anyway, Courtney, my director, I apologize that I forgot about your movie. I did have 2 glasses of wine. 4.
Well,
Anyway.
listen.
Oh, and should we talk about the Howard Stern thing?
Yes, let's talk about that. I did this thing yesterday where like we finished recording the podcast, like the part that, the first part of the podcast. I walked out and my son Eli, who works with us a little bit on the podcast in like an ancillary role, was like, did you see, like, he's like, I'm just catching up now. Howard Stern talked about Busy. And I was like, oh, good or bad? And he was like, well, I mean, it's a mixed bag. So
weird.
So anyway, but yes, go ahead. So Howard Stern.
Well, no, you tell me. I didn't listen to it.
I've never listened to it.
No, why would I listen to it? I don't fucking care.
I didn't listen.
Did you listen to it?
I didn't listen to it either. Just because like I don't even talk about like not knowing how to access all these channels and everything. I'm like, how do I even get to where Howard Stern is? I don't have.
But it's not even that. Like, how would you listen to Yesterday's Howard Stern? I don't fucking
exactly.
know. Isn't he
Who knows?
on every day?
I think so. Anyway, and he has to fill that time, and he filled some of that time by kind of roasting Busy by saying that, like, I guess basically that you were like publicly overreacting about not being able to get Taylor Swift tickets and that there's more important things in the world.
I mean, okay. We're going to stop right there. First of all, welcome to the Taylor Swift conversation 3 weeks later, Howard. Like, did you just fucking hear about it? Like, what?
Does it make you feel better when we miss a big story?
I mean, it's just like, at that point, why are you even fucking bringing it up? Like, what are you...
Yes.
What news are you reading that is now just hitting you?
He's catching up on Instagram, which I mean, I feel like you talked about it on stories. So like they expired. So that
doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
This makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I don't know how this information came to him so late.
I mean, listen, to be fair, maybe if we listened to what he said instead of taking it 17th hand.
It's true.
We could have we could form, but I mean, truly 3 weeks late, a couple $100 short. Listen, if Howard wants to use any of his $1 billion to buy me and Birdie some resale tickets to Phoebe Bridgers and Taylor Swift, I'm going to fucking take them. And in return, I will tell him that, I'm well fucking aware of the other important things in the world that we need to talk about, which is why I do literally nothing but talk about those fucking things and post about them and volunteer and do all of the fucking shit. So honestly, but if you don't think that like the deep desire to connect with my teenage daughter isn't important, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Because I actually think that that's one of the most important things I can do is like show my child that the thing that they're most interested in the world is something that I also am interested in. Yeah. And I want to participate with them in that interest.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. Like, this girl never even heard a fucking Taylor Swift song until 2 years ago.
Right.
When Birdie became a fan.
Right. So,
and I love sharing things with my kid. And I'm sure that that's lost on a billionaire who had children that are my age, you know? Aren't his daughters like my age, basically?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I feel like his kids, because I remember like Fart Man or whatever when I was like in high school. Right. And I feel like his kids he had kids then.
Right.
Didn't he? Because that was his first marriage. He's married to Beth now. They don't have kids together. They have cats.
Right. Yes. I mean, that's a good... His children are... How old is... Ashley is 29.
Okay. Basically my age.
And...
Thank you for not laughing.
Emily is 39.
Emily is 30, not basically my age.
Yeah.
Guys, my age. He has children my age.
Yeah.
Emily doesn't have kids of her own. Do we know?
I don't know. She is his oldest child, but I don't know if she
I mean, I could be his oldest child.
Yeah. She's a rabbi.
That's rad.
Yeah.
That's very rad. You know, Howard, also I did an entire fucking episode on anti-Semitism, and we had Rabbi Sharon Bruss on our podcast to talk about it. Before, like, we did that a couple weeks before, you know, when I just sort of was feeling like that was an important conversation to be having then.
Well,
Also,
we can hold many truths at one time, and that's
of course. Wait, by the way, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
I hate that. Like, I mean, okay, I didn't listen to it, but like, I'm just going off of like, I tried to read what Howard said. And, you know, if it's accurate that like they were insinuating that there are more important things in the world to worry about, yes, obviously. But I hate that argument because Howard Stern for like decades has been talking about some important things, but many, many, many unimportant things every day when there were more important things to talk about. So, you know.
And honestly, many, many, many really hurtful things.
Also true.
Has he been a party to?
Right.
On his show.
Which I think recently we complimented him saying that, you know, he's sort of like matured and like
because he doesn't have like models coming in and he doesn't ask them to turn around anymore, right?
Right.
Or does he? I think
he stopped doing that.
Does he still ask young male actors which starlets' virginities they've taken, or is that a thing of the past?
I don't know.
When was the last time he asked a young actor which starlet or pop star's virginity they took? What year was that? Did that stop?
That's a really good question. You know, I've never been a Howard Stern listener.
Me neither, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, but I know your sister listens to Howard Stern, so maybe this is who we should have talked to Leanne about it.
Should have called Leanne, but
she might have heard what exactly he said. But he did say that he watched Busy Tonight. He used to watch Busy Tonight. So,
well, that's impressive.
Yeah. So, you know, that's good, I guess. I
don't know. I think it's, well, whatever. I mean, obviously.
He's got to fill the time
don't we all?
Here's why it's interesting. And like, I've uniquely had this experience many times with Howard Stern where he's like this, I mean, like Howard Stern doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. But you know, I started my career in New York where he was like a huge deal in New York. Everybody listened to him every day. And it never was my kind of thing. And I was listening to just keep current, you know, to like know what was going on because everybody else listened. But also, you know, it's not for her. Like we talk about that all the time. All I have to do is like not listen to what's not for me. Anyway, but everyone I ever worked for had a situation where Howard Stern like took a swipe at them that was pretty rough and that they, you know, that they had to act publicly like, oh, it's no big deal. But, you know, he talked shit about Dave. He talked a ton of shit about Rosie.
Of course.
And like,
and I'm sure about Rosie's body.
About Rosie's body, about like her children, like being
unacceptable,
adopted, and you know, just and like all under the guise of like it's just jokes. And he was so powerful that I think everybody had to like just act like, oh yeah, it's fine, I understand, it's just jokes. But from my perspective, I feel like that didn't not leave a mark on those people, you know. So I respect that, like that. You know, we have to be able to have fun. And I respect that he's this massively powerful and popular person that's on the air for so many hours per day. And he's got to say something. And it can't be like all complimenting people and being, nice or whatever, I guess, because that's not exciting to the majority of people. That's not what made him popular. And I have seen a change in him, I think. Like, I think I've observed a little bit of a change in him where I think he's softer than he used to be, but it's just interesting how many times, if he said that about anyone else, I'd be like, whatever, I just like would move on and not think another thing about it. But because he said it about you and I know you, and so I'd imagine that anyone that knows anyone that he ever talks about probably feels the same way. You know what I mean? So like, he's bruising a lot of bananas still every day, you know, because like we felt it when he talked about you a little bit. And I was like, oh shit, she's going to get a million texts about this. She's going to, you know, I texted you to let you know, which I always hate doing because I'm like, I'm sure a million people have already told you this, but Howard Stern just talked about you, blah, 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 blah. But
well, it's interesting. I think you bring up lots of interesting points. And honestly, I don't really fucking care. At the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I actually think that it's such a big deal that the Department of Justice is looking into Ticketmaster. So
right.
I kind of feel like I have a right to be upset about my not getting my kid the tickets that they want. And like I said on this podcast, we're able to have more nuanced conversations. Yeah. Am I going to be able to like pull strings and manage to swing tickets somehow? Probably.
Yeah.
But what about every other fucking parent
right.
whose kid loves Taylor Swift more than anything and has been waiting years to see her perform again?
Right.
And it's all they want for Christmas or their birthday or their bat mitzvah or whatever.
Right.
And like, I don't know. The entire system is so fucked and unfair.
Yeah.
And not good for the consumer.
Right.
So like, are there bigger things in the world to discuss? Sure.
There always are.
There always fucking are.
And we discuss
but also,
a lot of
guess
those.
what?
Yeah.
Monopolies and in capitalism are a big fucking deal.
Right.
So big that like AOC and the Department of Justice are like talking about it and looking into it.
Right.
So whilst, even if that wasn't the case, if it was just me fucking as one parent of a teenager trying to make my kids like dream come true because they're a really good kid and I love sharing this thing with them. Even if that was the beginning, middle, and end of it, I would think you don't get to decide what is or isn't a big deal in that moment in my life.
Right.
Also, have you fucking testified before Congress? Fuck off. Because until you do, okay, baby.
It's my feeling. I mean, all of that aside, which those are really good points. I just feel like we're just trying to do the same thing that Howard's trying to do. Just like talk about shit. And talk about it publicly.
Well, and it's the same thing, right? Like, it's so deeply steeped in misogyny, right? Because, like, if it's this, it's like why fangirls, like, why we've talked about this before.
Right.
Like, why the things that teenage girls love get so publicly derided by comedian made fun of, right? It's such an easy target to make fun of teenage girls. And now again, I realize I'm the same age as Howard's daughter.
Right.
Essentially.
His eldest daughter.
His oldest daughter and I are contemporaries.
Yes.
We would have been in high school together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard. That's a hard pill for Howard to swallow. You know?
Well, anyway, Howard, in case you didn't know, Busy is very busy. She has a TV show. It's going to be on Netflix. Maybe you'll get to watch that. It's not busy tonight, but it's also very good. And maybe you want to come on the podcast and talk about it.
We would love to have you on our podcast, Howard Stern.
And
we would love it. We could talk about Justin Timberlake talking about taking Britney Spears' virginity. And if you regret any of the ways that you talked about and objectified those teenagers back in the day, I would love to know those. I would honestly love to know that.
Or,
how he views it.
Yeah,
does he regret that? Or like Wilmer talking about Demi Lovato.
Or just about how we all talk about things that are very important alternately with things that ultimately aren't that important in the grand scheme of things, but are important to us.
I maintain those Taylor Swift tickets are important. I maintain they are. They're fucking important to a lot of people. Millions of people, in fact.
Yeah, we'd even take Baba Booey.
I don't know who that is.
That's his sidekick, Gary Delabate, who was in on the conversation about Taylor Swift tickets. So yeah.
Is Robin still? I remember Robin from back in the day.
I honestly don't know. Well, you know what I was going to say is that when I was saying that I always hesitate to like text you and be like, Howard Stern's talking about you or whatever. Cause like, I'm not your fucking publicist. And like, also,
no,
like
I don't have a publicist right now.
Also, you were getting ready to go to this fun thing. So if it was like bad, I don't want to tell you something bad when you're like, I'm very conscious of that. That's like something that I've learned over my career is that like it's important to time things and it's important how you
I was actually surprised that you texted me because we had just discussed that I was going to the thing.
Yes.
And you are the first person who's always like, couldn't that person just hold on to X until after blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, you're very aware of that thing.
Yes.
So much so that it's made me very aware of it.
Yeah.
Which is like a great thing, guys. Just not having to do anything with like award shows.
Right, just life.
But just like in life, if you have a friend who's like about to, like has a big work presentation or, your partner is concerned about something that's happening with their parents or something, whatever, like, and you find your feelings hurt over some other infraction, like, or there's a piece of information that the person isn't going to like love.
Right.
Don't pile on. Not piling on is like, honestly it separates people from being good friends and partners.
Yes.
To being like selfish.
Yeah.
I don't think what you did was selfish. I'm just saying this is you as in your presence in my life in the last several years, like really illuminated some people in my life who were a little bit, I don't want to call them thunder stealers, thunder bringers, like people who would like, whose timing was coincidentally or non-coincidentally always fucking terrible.
Right. Well, sometimes I think that it's a lack of awareness where people are just like, I have this thing that I want to say right now, and I don't care what is going on with anyone else. I just want to get this out. So that's like a lack of consideration. Sometimes people do it intentionally, where they're like, I'm going to sabotage this person's moment, whether it's something that the person's anxious about or whether it's something someone's joyful about. Someone's like, I'm going to dump this on them right before and like either make it more difficult or like ruin the moment. I hate moment ruiners more than anything, just about. But in this
They're
case,
real saboteurs.
Real saboteurs. In this case, I want you to know, I carefully considered, and my ultimate decision on texting it to you was she's going to an event in New York tonight. Suppose she sees Howard Stern and like it probably would have been great if you were like, oh, I had no idea that he talked about me tonight or whatever. But I just also like, I'm trying to balance.
I felt like it was like protective.
Yeah. I'm trying to balance.
Because also you didn't know if I was going to, right. You didn't know anything. You didn't know if like someone was going to mention it to me.
Exactly.
You didn't, I know. No, I got the full scope of what,
oh my God,
you told me.
This is scrubbed from the internet and it's a million times worse than what we're talking about. But when I worked at Best Week Ever, there was, I want to say it was on like a foreign red carpet, and Jennifer Tilly was on the red carpet. And a correspondent was just talking to her and said, like, what do you think about Bruno Kirby? And she was like, oh my God, he's so wonderful. But this actor, Bruno Kirby, they had worked together in the past. Oh my God, he's so wonderful. I love him so much. And the person was like, he died today. And she was like, oh my God. And like just covered her mouth and had like a meltdown. It was like a train wreck viral video at the time, and I
God, I had someone on a red carpet once a few years ago tell me, oh my God, it was so weird. And please forgive me. Tell me that some actor's child died.
Oh God.
And I, first of all, I didn't know the person.
Right.
But like, also, I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, what are you expecting to get? That is so fucked. Like, that's terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
what the fuck?
Yes. And believe me, like, I understand the point is to, like, that person on the red carpet is trying to get something because, like, as we know, if you've watched a lot of red carpet, it's very dull. It's very dull. And so you're trying to, like, quote unquote, spice it up, I guess. But that is not a spice. That's not anything like that is not a spice. Like, please understand that like a huge turning point in my career was, okay, Mrs. Garrett. I'm going to let you in on a little secret about me and Watch What Happens Live and before that Best Week Ever. Because before that, I was strictly like jokes, like comedy, variety jokes. And then when I went to work on Best Week Ever, it was different. It was making jokes about commentary about
social
pop culture.
Yeah, pop culture.
Yeah. And so there was a moment that was such a huge turning point for me. It was Mrs. Garrett from The Facts of Life. Went to see
love her.
Went to see Joan Collins in something I believe on Broadway, and they interviewed her on the red carpet, and she was like, they were like, "What do you think of Joan Collins?" And she was like, "Well, I mean, she was great, whatever. She's a real firecracker." And then she was like, because she's older and she had no filter, she was like, "I hear she's a real bitch," and like. Which was hilarious that she said that. And they were like, great, moment gotten, very spicy. But then they turned around and they did like a little like junket type thing with Joan Collins where they played that back for her. Mrs. Garrett calling Joan Collins a bitch. And Joan Collins was like, that cow? Like, why would she fucking say that about me? And I was like, oh my God, the evil little devil-horned person inside of me was like, sometimes you can show people like, you know, this is like the Dynasty lady. Like, this is what would happen in Dynasty. This is what would happen between Alexis and Crystal. You can like show the person. So for me, that was like a huge part of when I went to work at Watch What Happens, like it really informed what I did at Best Week Ever, but it was a huge part of when I went to work at Watch What Happens Live, where originally we just were gonna sort of talk about like hot topics at the top of the show. Like, you know, this drug law was passed and gay marriage is on the ballot, blah, blah, all that stuff, which we did talk about sometimes. But I was like, right at the top of the show, I don't think people want to see that. I think they want to talk about the Housewives show that they just watched. I'm actually kind of vehement about this. And I was like, you can take a clip of what Cynthia said about Nene and show it right to Nene on live television and get her like live real-time reaction, you know.
You're a genius.
I mean, you know who's the genius? Whoever showed that clip of Mrs. Garrett to Joan Collins from Entertainment Tonight or whatever. But so that became like kind of what we did. And I'm not taking 100% credit for it, but I'm taking like 99% credit for it because I was really super vehement.
Take all the fucking credit, baby.
What, are they going to fire me from that show?
Come on.
But anyway, so like I get it. You're trying to get something to happen, but you're not trying to get it to happen by announcing like a death on the red carpet. That's not there. What could possibly be the reaction?
No.
Like what?
Nothing good.
In what universe?
Literally nothing good.
Would that be something that someone would want to watch? Even a person that had little devil horns and liked to be, you know, a little spicy. That's not spicy. That's not. Yeah. So anyway. All this to say, also from the other side of it, like I know how these things go, so I'm always trying to prepare and protect. And that's like a hard line to walk because you're like, I want to protect you from something that you don't necessarily need to know and let you have your good time. And then we can talk about it in the morning, even though I'm not your publicist. Like I obviously have like 6 publicist bones in my body or whatever. But then on the other hand, I want to always prepare a person for, you know, if they run into Howard Stern
for a Joan Collins moment.
Exactly. If 20 people mention it to you. But I will say only 2 people, only like one podcast listener and my son mentioned it to me. And my son
Can I tell you something?
What?
You mentioned it and one person on Instagram. That's it.
Okay. So I don't know how many people are listening to what Howard said about busy, but not even your sister mentioned it to you. And she is like the most avid Howard listener. So
I don't know if she is anymore. She's busy.
yeah. So maybe it's just
She's
like,
got a lot, she works a lot now. I
maybe
actually
it's
don't
not
know.
as big a deal as it once was. And, and so going forward, if he talks about you again, right before you're about to go to an award show, maybe I'll hold on to it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how relevant his daily conversations are / how relevant anyone cares about me talking about Taylor Swift tickets, which was literally, like I said, 3 weeks ago. So, you know what I mean? It feels like it's like sort of all irrelevant as a matter of fact.
It's just, as Nora Ephron said, everything's copy. It's all copy,
baby.
It's all content.
Baby.
We're just
Meanwhile,
making
though, there's a
content.
Balenciaga update today.
Oh, tell me.
They released some fucking bullshit thing. I'm angry. I felt like we spent too much time yesterday talking about it. Like I said to Caissie, I was like, ugh, I don't know. Like, now I'm like angrier because they're just like refusing to take any kind of responsibility. I feel like they've like filed this lawsuit against someone else. Wait, I need to go back to Diet Prada. This is where I'm getting all my information from.
Diet Prada, thank you for helping us
Yeah.
fill our content. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think
they're suing the set designer.
Okay. Oh,
and
because
the production
of the real
company.
court papers, right? Because they were assured that it was fake court papers.
Yeah, well, they weren't. I don't think they're saying they were assured.
Okay.
It's like so stupid. But here's what I want to say. Like there's a woman. They have a quote from a woman from the Fashion Law Institute believes that the blame is strategically misplaced. Quote. This is Susan Scafaldi of Fordham's Fashion Law Institute. If Balenciaga were primarily interested in monetary compensation for the advertising disaster, it probably would have taken time to negotiate a quiet settlement, she said via email. Instead, Balenciaga filed an immediate media-worthy lawsuit in order to disavow the campaign in the strongest possible terms and offer the public a different pair of villains in the form of the production company and set designer.
Interesting.
I mean, it's insane.
We could have been fashion lawyers this whole time.
What do you mean? Yeah, we could have been fashion lawyers.
I didn't know there was even such a thing as a fashion lawyer.
I think there's every kind of lawyer.
I knew there were fashion police, but I didn't know there was a whole fashion law and order.
I don't think there are fashion police anymore.
No, well, I mean, yeah.
I think they defunded them. Hey, just a little defund the police joke, guys.
We defunded the fashion police, and now fashion law is it's anarchy, fashion anarchy.
Anyway, all I'm saying is that the whole thing is bullshit because it's like Balenciaga seemingly doesn't understand. It goes beyond like the entire the.
It's not just like that the papers were there.
It's not just one paper that is the problem.
It's the whole tone of the campaign.
Ma'ams.
Yeah.
It's the entire campaign.
Which,
and like
you could
I
say,
said, like
I didn't zoom in on the paper and see the content of the paper, but you saw the whole image and you signed off on that.
It also is like, here's the other thing. And I'm just going to say this. Like, campaigns tell stories.
Right.
That's the whole fucking point.
Right.
Of what people do with these campaigns. They tell stories. And if you look at this campaign as a whole, it tells a very clear story. Now, do I think that I don't fucking know what the fuck is wrong with people. I don't know why they would choose to tell. I don't know if they think it's being provocative or if some fucked up part of their brain thinks it's funny or if they're like literally someone high up is like a survivor of sexual assault as a child and is like working some shit out that they should be in therapy. I don't know.
Right.
How could we know what the motivation is behind it? All I know is that it's fucking disgusting and fucked up and not provocative.
Right.
And it's not, and by the way, it's not like art intended to make us think. It's like, it's ads intended to make people buy overpriced fucking bullshit that's like ugly as fuck and has like, by the way, been ugly for so long.
Man.
I mean, am I wrong? Where's the lie? Like, can we just stop being tricked into thinking ugly shit looks good? Aside from like all of the pedophilia fucking disgusting, I mean, like, are they also like, did they also not look closely at the empty wine glasses in the child's room or the like can that's made to look like a Heineken except it says Balenciaga that has a candle in it, or the duct tape strewn about, or any number of other fucking gross, weird images that like in juxtaposition of a literal toddler seems so fucking insanely depraved and like fucking gross and weird and like upsetting.
Right.
They didn't notice that either. Give me a fucking break. I'm not even kidding. Also, I've like been on sets where like if a corner of a piece of paper with writing on it is visible, they like fly in and they like cross it out or mark it up or put something on top of it because they don't want for this like exact reason.
Right.
If anything is not cleared, it like becomes it gets photoshopped out.
Yeah.
Like this is such bullshit.
Yeah, those photos are retouched.
Yeah. This is such bullshit. It's like mind-boggling.
It's not like a cup in Game of Thrones out of like a million moving scenes or whatever. This is like a thing
it's not
that
a Starbucks cup in the back of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Guys.
And
you're not fucking fooling anyone.
Meant to be a static image for an image's sake. And it's
in a campaign. In which, and by the way, also their fucking bullshit statement of like the bears that the children are holding that some people say are wearing. Did you see that part?
Yeah.
That some claim look like bondage. Yeah, no shit, because they're wearing bondage. What about the model? Did you see the model with the black eyes? Did we talk about this yesterday?
You did talk about that, yeah.
Fuck me, Balenciaga. Go fuck yourself. And by the way, I'm back on Kim. She better come out today and be like, fuck these guys, because otherwise I'm done with her. I'll text her right now to whatever number I had 7 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think it's obviously strategic misdirect, and like it was just extremely. I mean, the best case scenario is that it was extremely poor judgment. That's like the best case scenario is that they.
Sure, yes, misplaced, like some fucking idea that it's like artistry
and
or
edginess.
some shit or edginess or provocateurness. I mean, I like. Can you imagine how many people
had to sign up?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I can't get my head around. It's not just like they're trying to like point the finger at two people. Like, how many meetings were there? Do you know how many campaigns, like when you're going to do a campaign for a brand? First of all, I have friends that work in advertising and market and research for many years. My best friend worked on some of the biggest campaigns for Apple of all time, literally of all time. And in those campaigns alone, they would shoot like many different versions.
Right.
And then pick one.
Right. And then they retouch them and
100%.
Photoshop them, edit them.
like, I remember once, many, many years ago, Emily working for a brand that they did a huge campaign and then scrapped the whole thing because they were just like, oh, didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to.
Right.
This is the problem. Like, people don't know how to take fucking responsibility and apologize.
Right.
And fucking sit for a second and think.
Right.
Anyway, I'm still obviously very heated about it. I'm actually more heated today than I was yesterday because I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It wasn't.
Fucking hate it. I hate the way they've responded.
Yeah. What would be here's the thing, when you do something so supremely fucked up, there is no good response, but it's not the best response to be like, it was the paper lady's fault. We didn't know. So
we're going to sue her for $25 million. Like, bitches.
No.
You got
that's just a part of.
You're literally not fooling. Yeah, it's one tiny part of a larger issue that you're not taking any fucking responsibility for. And even just the fact that they're like, some people thought the bears that the children are holding are wearing S&M. Fuck you.
Know what?
You.
Merriam-Webster would say it's gaslighting. It's gaslighting.
You're not going to gaslight us, Balenciaga. You're not that fucking smart. You might have fooled us into wearing some ugly ass sneakers for a minute, but you are not fooling us this time.
Go back to making classically wonderful handbags. Why did you ever stray from that path? Everybody wanted your bags.
Just get the fuck out of here. I'm done with you. Guys, and I'm done with you. Have a great day, everybody. No, I'm kidding. But we do have to go because Caissie has to catch a flight.
It's true. Well, what are you doing your best at? Is there anything else? What are you doing your best at this week?
Well, I do think that I did my best at my makeup and hair last night.
You did? You looked lovely.
I think I did my best at just showing up for my friend and being supportive of her and finding out what she needed and making it happen. Because TBH, whilst I'm always excited to be with M, it wasn't like dying to go to an awards show last night. Right after Thanksgiving break and us trying to do this podcast and you coming to town. And I have 2 big commercial jobs this week. Plus, I have some kids stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
There's like a lot. And now this ear infection probably.
Right.
But I think I really did manage to be a good friend and like not make it about me. I did, however, fuck up one scheduling thing today. I was supposed to go to the premiere of Michael Ausiello's new movie, spoiler alert, that I'm so excited to see based on his memoir. And I forgot that I had agreed to moderate a discussion for the ACLU with Sarah Polley and the other cast members in her new film, Women Talking, this evening. So I didn't do great on my scheduling there, and I'm going to have to apologize to Michael Ausiello. So maybe...
Well, I have good news for you. Michael Ausiello is coming on the podcast next week, so you can apologize to him on the podcast.
Okay. Well, consider this the pre-apology to Michael about not making it to the premiere.
We'll get a link so that you can watch the movie on your computer. Not as fun as going to a premiere.
Well, no, not as fun as going to the premiere, but also, can I be honest? I have a feeling I'm going to cry a lot. That book is so devastating.
Yes.
And I have a feeling I'm going to really, really cry. So I'm okay with not crying that hard in public.
Great. We're super looking forward. Tonight. Yeah, super looking forward to having Michael Ausiello.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And also our friend Atsuko is going to co-host the first part of the podcast with us next week. So
Caissie, if you weren't making all of this happen, what would we do?
Well, I have to say it's only through the kindness of all the people that are always willing to come on this podcast, because Lord knows we don't, it's not like we're not like all these people. Just FYI, here's a little insider gossip about the podcast. Everyone who comes on the podcast just comes on because they want to hang out. They fucking get on a Zoom from their houses. It's not like they're not being picked up and driven anywhere. They're not coming to a studio. They record
Also,
themselves.
We rarely even reach out to people. Am I wrong?
No, most people are like, hey, I have this thing. I'd love to come on and talk with you guys. I've been wanting to come on. So that's so great. I don't think
Which is great. We love them.
We've like invited people on the podcast like 2 times. And,
well, I think once we started doing it on our own, I think we realized like the amount of time that it would require for us to do that, to like reach out to people and like try to get people booked and scheduling and all that and deal with publicists and shit. We're like, okay, Gina, hold on one second. It's like just not worth it.
And the amount of money like to hire
and the amount of money
to do that.
Oh, right. Because it's like thousands we did talk to a booker and it's like thousands of dollars that we don't have.
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing your best at this week?
Really just got it together, decorated the house for Christmas with so much help from my family. Everybody pitched in because that like
no one's pitching in for me.
I hate that.
I know. Well, first of all, bless Mark. I do think a little bit he's like, we're getting divorced and like this is not my thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I like he does so many of the other things.
Yes.
Mark, if you're fucking listening, this is not a drag.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
He does so many fucking things. He does the homework with the kids. I can't do that math.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He does all kinds of things. Christmas and Christmas decorating is not his cup of cocoa.
Yeah.
Never has been. It's Mark Silverstein, guys. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, I'm really lucky.
I'm jealous. Maybe you'll come over to my house and help me tomorrow.
Oh, for sure. I would be happy to do that. Yeah.
Because the boxes of ornaments are oppressive.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
If I leave it to Cricket and Birdie, it's only on the bottom third of the tree.
Then they give up and they like go start to do something
Correct.
else. It's so interesting because when I was a kid, like I
loved it.
I would murder anyone who suggested that I stopped like decorating a tree, But
I loved it.
One thing I will say, this was a stupid move on my part. When we moved to Los Angeles, I was like, let's not get a real tree because we're moving into like a mid-century home that might be more flammable. Mm-hmm. And also like,
no, that is not why you did not get a real tree.
A mid-century home is also like
not more flammable than a regular home.
It's
Caissie.
more flammable than my Connecticut home that was built in 1990. I will say this 1954 house.
Caissie, that's just insane.
And it's California.
That's just crazy.
The whole state is flammable.
To be fair, there you've got me there.
Okay.
That's true.
So I was like, let's get a fake tree, which by the way is very mid-century. Fake tree. I should have just
I love a fake tree.
I should have just gone and got like the silver tree, like true mid-century, but I didn't because like I think we still have 25 to 50% traditionalists in this house. So we got a green fake tree, but I thought it'd be fun to get like a flocked one that had like the fake snow on it.
I do like that. Mm-hmm.
I love how it looks, but it does drop fake snow all over the floor, which is like, you might as well just have a real tree with the fucking needles everywhere because I have to vacuum so much.
Do you want to hear what my mom does?
What does she do?
With her fake tree?
Yeah.
Which I think is the trash tree, if I'm not mistaken. And by that, I mean, guys, my sister literally found the tree being thrown out
in the
trash behind her apartment building when she lived in LA.
Okay.
And it was a great fucking tree. And she just took it. And I mean, like, it was like clear. It was like one of those things. Like, it was like clearly left beside the trash.
Yeah.
Maybe in the hopes that someone would take it.
Right.
And she did. And it's like been in my family now for like literally 17 years, which makes me laugh.
I love that.
I think it's actually really funny. Talk about reduce, reuse, recycle. Anyway, my mom gets her own weird snow stuff from the craft from Joann's because of the snow babies.
Yes.
So she's got to like sprinkle the snow everywhere. And she just like snows the tree.
Oh.
That like it's a regular fake tree and then she snows it.
Love it.
But it's not flocking. It's
just
not
like,
permanent. And it is a mess when you after Christmas, but she just vacuums it once and then it's like done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing.
And with you, it's like you have to put it away. It's like there's flock. I know what you're saying.
There's flocking, and then like
everywhere.
the dogs are rolling in the flocking, and so they're bringing it all over the house. So I'm like vacuuming.
Oh my God.
But anyway, this is a true thing. And I want to say, in case this has happened to anyone else or if I'm like out of my mind, but I don't love petting dogs so much. That's like a lifelong thing. And like I can like look at a dog and kind of size up whether the way that it will feel to pet them will be like more agreeable or less agreeable.
I mean,
me.
Gina's the most agreeable, I'm just going to say, especially if she's been washed.
So anyway, and sadly,
you're not saying anything. Interesting.
I mean, I've never pet Gina.
What are you talking about?
I don't think I've ever petted her.
Of course you have. Caissie, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever petted her. But anyway, my own dogs kind of have that feeling where there are certain places on them I like to pet and then certain places I don't because their fur is rougher in other places and I like to pet the softer fur. Anyway, I vacuumed up the flocking and it's like part hardwood floor, part like area rug. And then I was like, it got up so much dog fur in addition to the flocking. And then I was like, oh, fuck, like the floor is still covered with like dog fur. It's like they really get it in there because they really roll around. And I'm like, yes, I find their fur unpleasant. They probably find their own fur unpleasant. So they're constantly rolling around on the floor trying to like rub their fur off. Anyway, I got down on my hands and knees with like a lint, not a brush, but like a scraper, you know, those like rough, I don't know. They sell them on Amazon and they're always on TikTok. So I was scraping up like
off the carpet?
Off the carpet, dog fur.
Is it for a dog fur though, the scraper?
No, it's for like your sweater, but it was like really effective at like
I got it. I know what you mean.
Disembedding this fur from the area rug. And then when it was done, I like used my hand to pull the dog fur off. And then I kind of like absentmindedly, because it was like just going everywhere.
No, I'm kidding.
Could you imagine? I kind of like absentmindedly like balled it up so that to make it into a compact ball and then threw it away in the garbage. But then after, my fucking hands were on fire. They were burning and red. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like allergic to touching dog fur.
Yeah, that makes sense. That actually really tracks for me.
It was like, it made me so sad that I was just like, I must instinctively, like intuitively have known this about myself. And like, so I'm not sneezing all the time. Like it's not that kind of allergy, but my dad had really sensitive skin. And I've talked about my sensitive skin a million times in the past. My hands were so red for like 48 hours. And like,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
Not just itching,
so
but like
insane.
Stinging. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're allergic, Caissie.
Ugh. And then I was just like, what the actual fuck? Like, what do I do to what am I doing? What am I doing?
Well, I will say this. You know, I went to that amazing allergist now who's retired in Arizona.
Yeah.
But his whole theory about allergies, and I don't know if this is anywhere else, but I mean, he was like a legit doctor, not like a woo-woo crystal guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I've also, clearly been too. But the way he explained allergies to me and your immune system is that it's cumulative.
Yeah.
And so you will have in your life like more intense reactions to things that you're sensitive to and less intense reactions to things you're sensitive to based on other factors, like how many other chemicals you're currently being exposed to, how long you've been exposed to those chemicals. For instance, and I'm just going to say this, and I fucking love LA, and I'm not trying to talk shit about my girl, LA. But LA's toxicity is fucking real, man. Like the air, the whatever's happening there, the pollen, like, and so it's like chemical and it's environmental from pollen and all those things.
Yeah.
And like that really overruns your immune system. So then, whereas maybe in Connecticut, your hands wouldn't be red and burning and itching for 48 hours, say. Like you would maybe have like a little bit itchy palms and then it would be better because your immune system would be able to handle it and would react appropriately.
Who knows?
As opposed to overreacting and causing you like a crazy allergic reaction. Anyway, I'm really sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I had terrible seasonal allergies in Connecticut, which I don't have here in Los Angeles. That being said, I find that I have a lot of skin allergies here in Los Angeles. Like even if I go out for a walk in the neighborhood, I feel like I'm not touching cactuses, and yet I feel like I have touched cactuses sometimes after. So I'm like, are like tiny cactus needles flying through the air and just like...
Well, I don't know. Are you near a jumping Hoya?
Possibly.
Jumping Choya?
Jumping
Choya? It might be a Choya.
I don't know.
Jumping Choya. It's
Okay.
CH. And it's
It just fires little needles at you.
YLLA. Well, yeah, jumping Choya do. They're really, really, I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I had a friend in elementary school whose little brother and dog, Mandy, her dog's name was Mandy, both had to go to separate emergency rooms, different doctors, but emergency rooms because they were like attacked by the jumping choya in their front yard. Jumping choya are like the kind of plant where, like if you get too close to it,
Right.
it like sends a signal inside, and then like if you like accidentally hit like one of its little spines, like 4 pop out and like shoot at you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And like lodge into you.
This is
terrible.
This is terrible. Why is the earth trying to kill us? But anyway,
it's a great question. Maybe because we're killing the earth.
Yes, it's a real eye for an eye situation.
It is.
I guess.
It really is.
But so anyway, I was trying to do my best by making sure that every dog hair was off my rug. But I think we're just gonna have to, like your mom just leaves the snow and vacuums one time. I think I'm gonna have to just leave the dog hair to someone else and
throw some fabric over it, baby. Why don't you start felting that fur and make it into a tree skirt?
That's a good idea, but I'd have to touch it. I'm going to have to outsource that project to someone else.
You're going to need to get some gloves. I'm going to buy you some gloves. Oh my God, I'm excited to see you though. I'm going to give you your birthday present. I mean, Christmas present. Not birthday.
I put yours in my bag too.
Yay, we're going to have a Christmas exchange. We can do it as we're decorating my tree together. The
that'll
two
be
of us.
so exciting. Maybe we can make a little video.
Oh yeah, we can put it on our Substack.
Put it on the Substack. Yeah, but that's it. I'm excited to see you, and it'll just be a few hours now, just several thousand hours till I'm in New York City.
I hope you sleep on the plane. And guys, we love you.
We love you.
Thank you for being here. If you have time this week to donate your time or money to Raphael Warnock in Georgia,
yes,
please consider it.
Yes, I've been hearing that the early districts that are voting are strong Warnock districts, but that we can't sleep on it.
Can't sleep on it.
Because as you know,
don't sleep on it.
Red districts vote later, closer to the election. So
I don't know if I believe that anymore either.
I know.
I'm done with all of these pundits. No, I don't know. Pundits, whatever they are. I'm just saying like lots of students voted early as well.
Yeah.
Like not early, sorry.
On time.
Lots of students showed up the day of to vote as well. Lots of younger, newer voters did. So, while historically speaking, they said the whatever
Republicans
people
vote in person on the day of. I think the wisdom is just like enjoy the hype, but don't believe it. Definitely don't let up and keep voting. And if you're phone banking or texting, thank you so much for doing that. And we're doing that too. And
hold up. I want to end real fast. With this and that because then I'll let you guys go. I subscribe to Rob Beresny's astrology newsletter, Free Will Astrology, which I love. Michelle actually turned me on to Rob Beresny's Free Will Astrology many, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
But this is the newsletter that I just got from Rob Beresny, and I just want to read this really fast because I think that we all could use it in this moment. Aspiring to express sublime feminine intelligence. All genders can do it, but I just want to speak to this for 1 second. What are the qualities of people who embody sublime feminine intelligence? They believe that no one is free unless we all are free, and that the supreme goal is to reduce suffering and increase joy. They are lovers of equality, activists committed to social and economic justice in service to people who are from disadvantaged backgrounds, excited to protect and preserve the health of the natural world, passionate about diminishing militarism, plutocracy, bigotry, misogyny, and racism. They prize their understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. Listening well is a quality they value. They're willing to expand and adjust their understandings of the world if they encounter new information that reveals their previous beliefs are obsolete or too narrow. That's very important. They consider the needs of as many people as possible, not just the needs of their immediate community and network of allies. They regard relationship as a crucible for spiritual work. They are not fundamentalists and authoritarians who believe that only their truths are true. They're willing to consider the value of alternate points of view. They're open to the perspective that everyone has a piece of the truth, but no one holds the entire truth. They regard practical expressions of kindness and compassion and ethical behavior as sacred practices. They regard play and fun and humor as not diversions from serious spiritual work, but rather as being at the center of it. Guys, there's a few more things here, but I really love that.
That is really lovely. And that's a good shout out for Rob Bresney.
Well, listen, I'm aspiring to sublime feminine. I'm aspiring to so whatever. Fucking goodbye, you guys.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.